And we're live. Pep Talk UK, live Watchalong. Joe P, joined by Jay Alby. It's a big one tonight, Jay. A very, very big one. Not just the WBA title on the line, not just the WBO title on the line, not just the WBC, not just the IBF. Chuck the Ring magazine in there as well. All four major belts, the undisputed junior welterweight, super lightweight, whatever you want to call it, undisputed fight between two magnificent, undefeated fighters, Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. How much are you looking forward to this one, Jay?
So much for all the marbles as well. You can't really argue with that. Undisputed. We had a big fight a couple of weeks ago. Billy Joe Saunders, Canelo. This one's another big one. So yeah, looking forward to it, Joe.
Absolutely can't wait. For guys, make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and join us for this live tonight because I'm absolutely buzzing for this fight. I've been looking forward to it for such a long time. I think the ring walk is probably now going to be, I don't know. Well, we got the Zapata fight next, and he just come out of an absolute barn burner fight of the year last year, didn't he, against Baranchik? So that'll be fantastic. We'll be covering that fight loosely before we head into some serious commentary for the big one. But yeah, so I think we're looking maybe between 45 minutes and an hour until we get the ring walk for the big fight. But Jay, like, how big is this fight for the hardcore boxing fan?
That's a huge one. You know, obviously we've got Josh Taylor, who's massive in the UK. He had that great fight against Prograis back in the UK. I think that was in 2019. I know he had another run out last year. So for the UK fans, it's a huge fight. Even in America, it's a huge fight. It's an undisputed fight. Jose Ramirez is a big fighter in America. He's only 28. I think it's 28 or 26. Is it 26? I think he might be 26. Taylor's 28. He's only a couple of years younger than Taylor, so it's two fighters in their prime. I think it's an absolute massive fight for boxing. It's a fight that I think massive hardcore fans are looking forward to. Style-wise, I think it would be a great fight, but just for boxing in general, like all the marbles, the Ring magazine title. So, yeah, I think it's an absolute massive fight, Joe. Are you looking forward to it? I know you're looking forward to it. Big Taylor fan.
Yeah. Massive Taylor fan, massive Josh Taylor fan. As you are yourself, I know we spoke about it on here before about how much we love Josh Taylor. I've got to be 100% in the top three for British pound for pound. 100%, I would say. For me, he's in my top 10 pound for pound. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
And I just think style-wise, it's going to be such a fantastic fight. Earlier today and all week I've been watching their past fights, and today I stuck on Maurice Hooker against Jose Ramirez, and well, that was a good fight while it lasted. That was a great fight. I see Ramirez defense was leaky in some points, but he countered extremely well. He countered extremely, extremely well, and he was tough. And this is what I love about this fight, because both of these fighters are so tough. I was just watching the broadcast before we went live, and they said Josh Taylor never been knocked down ever, never in sparring, never as an amateur. Unbelievable. So, like, I just can't wait for this fight. I think it's one of those fights that is probably underappreciated by the casual boxing fan. I've got to say, like, it isn't mainstream, which is a shame. It's a shame because this style-wise, this could. I'm expecting a barn burner. I'm expecting, like, I don't want to say I'm expecting a fight of the year candidate, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a fight of the year candidate, because it's just these styles. They just come forward head to head. And as much as we know that Josh Taylor can box, and he can box very well, it's that Scottish blood. He loves a scrap. And at some point in this fight, he will get involved in a scrap. And that is what we love to see, Jay.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. We've seen him with Taylor in a few of his fights. He's had to tough it out, as they say. shown that he's got the balls to match his skills in that. So that's the thing with Taylor. I think that's why Taylor appeals to the fans quite a lot. He's very entertaining. He's in entertaining fights. He's had some wars already, but in also other fights he's shown some of his skill. Like in his last fight, he blasted the guy out and around. Taylor tonight has to start fast. The thing with me with Taylor, I felt like in a few of his close fights, shall we say, that he's won. He's had to come in the second after the fight, and like you say, he's had to tough it out. I don't really want to see that too many times because that can shorten your career. But you can't argue with it. You love that sort of style. You love to watch it. Tonight, though, I want him to start fast. First 2 or 3 rounds, I want him to come out the blocks and pill it on Ramirez a little bit. I think you've seen with Taylor this week, he oozes that stardom, that superstar type fighter. You can see that he's got that confidence in him. That I think he thinks no one can beat him, and I love that about him. I think that's a great air of confidence to have about yourself, but also don't underestimate your opponent. Look at Ramirez; he's an Olympian, he's undefeated. So yeah, give the man credit, but also go in there with the confidence that Taylor's got at the moment and give it a great fight. But as we all would like to see, we would like to see a war, and I won't argue with that. But also, I would like to see Taylor get a victory in quite conclusive fashion as well. Because, like we said, we spoke before about what fights we would like to see Taylor in the future, and there's some massive fights out there. But right now, let's take Ramirez serious, because Ramirez has been WBC champion since 2018. He's been a good champion. Like you said, that Hooker fight was a good fight, good entertaining fight. Ramirez is tough. He's got that Mexican descent in him. So let's get this fight out of the way first, and then we'll look to the future. But yeah, it's going to be an entertaining fight, Joe, for sure.
100%, and it's a 50-50 fight. And
yeah,
as I say, like, obviously, I'm a huge British boxing fan, and if it weren't for the British boxers, I wouldn't have been a boxing fan. But at the end of the day, when it comes to undisputed fights, I'm not like, oh, it's there ain't a British boxer in it. Like, it doesn't matter. It's an undisputed fight, and just to have a British boxer in there just makes it that's so much better. It's like a cherry on top of the cake, and I am buzzing. I'm really, really buzzing. And guys, make sure you get your predictions in tonight. We're going to be reading a lot of predictions out because a lot of people think it could go either way. Look, Beyond Belief straight away says, come on, Taylor. Yvonne Nichols says, come on, Ramirez by stoppage. Luke says, yo, what time Josh on? And I don't know. We've got one more fight before the main event, which is Zepeda, and then I think they'll want to put on pretty sharpish. So I'm just going to say between 45 minutes and an hour, around that time, I'm going to say. And
about 3, I reckon.
Yeah. So just over an hour there. So Yvonne Nichols says, I see Taylor getting cut, and we see that eye against Prograis. That eye was, wow, that was pretty like a bad eye. And so do you think like that head clashes and cuts could play a part in this fight, Jay?
Well, it's always a thing that could play a part in any fight, to be fair, Joe. So no, I'm not too worried about it. Look, Taylor, we've said before, he likes to be in a war, so he's gonna get cut, he's gonna get hurt sometimes. Anything can happen in boxing. Anything can happen. So look, there could be an accidental headbutt. There could be an eye open from someone, but we don't know. It's something we don't know. But yeah, it could play a factor depending what happens. Like we said with Canelo, if it's a scoring shot, then you've got to appreciate it. So as long as it's not like a headbutt or an illegal shot, then for me, if there's a cut open by a fair punch, then there's a cut open by a fair punch. So yeah, it could play a part. I'm seeing a lot of skill in this fight. You got Taylor, who was a great amateur. He's got great skills. But Ramirez was an Olympian. He's a great amateur. He's got great skills. It's an intriguing fight. It could go 2 ways. They could either try and outbox each other for the first 6 rounds, and then it might go into a war, or it might just be a technical fight for the 12 rounds, or it might just be a war from round 1. It's one of them fights with undisputed. You've got the best 2, haven't you? So you really don't know. You could get there and you could like someone said in the comments, Ramirez could knock Taylor out. I've not seen we've not seen Taylor hurt yet, so that would make the fight interesting if Taylor gets hurt. But it's just a really, really good fight, Joe. Like you say, for the boxing purists, it's a fight that you really got to look forward to. If you're not looking forward to it, then I don't really know what sort of fights you're looking to look forward to. So
yeah,
look, we've got a nice fight here at the moment. Hank Lundy versus Zepeda, like you said.
yeah. It's
Not really too sure about Hank Lundy. I've just seen his record there, 31-8. Could be a competitive fight. To be
been in with the
fair, I
likes
thought
of
the
Terence
undercut.
Crawford.
Yep, Terence Crawford. Yeah, I would have thought that Joe the undercard would have been a little bit better for an undisputed fight. I would have been a little bit more honest. I don't think it's a very strong card by Top Rank, but that should be an entertaining fight before the main card, I guess. Main
No,
fight.
look,
So yeah,
I think it's been really entertaining because obviously, if we're judging by anything of Jose Cepeda's last time out, where there was something like 8 knockdowns in the fight, and
yeah,
the fight only lasted, I think, 5 rounds. Like just off the top of my head there. So that hopefully we'll be in for a treat if we see something like that. We'll
yeah.
definitely be in a treat.
He's got a lot of knockouts. So like you say, he's got heavy hands. Yeah, it should be a great fight. I was meaning more of the other fights below that. I would have thought they would have been
Yeah.
for the more casual fans. They might have thrown a few more extra fights on there for people to want to tune in. But like I said to you earlier, I was getting this fight regardless what was happening. So Taylor Ramirez sells it for itself for me. But yeah, it would have been nice to watch a few other fights. But nah,
Yeah,
like I said,
I agree.
can't argue with the undisputed.
We can't, and again, I think you got to take in consideration it is a pandemic, so obviously money will be cut. Like because this would have been in the MGM, wouldn't it, or somewhere like that, like a big arena in Las Vegas, or it could have even been over here in Scotland.
Oh,
That's what they thought. That I think was the initial plan, which would have been absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, we're probably not making as much money, but I'm just glad we can see the fight, Jay.
yeah, and also there's crowds there, which would make the fight a lot better. Taylor, he buzzes off the crowd. We've seen him in other fights that he's had, so that would be good. It'd probably be a hostile crowd tonight. I would have thought mostly 90% in there would be for Ramirez, as it's in America. Yeah, no, I'm excited. The production looks not too bad. I won't lie. I'm looking at it now. It's better than what we were speaking earlier in the day, and we wasn't quite sure where it was, how many people were going to be there or whatnot. But looking at it now, it looks quite good. Don't look as bad as the place where Manuel Char and Lovejoy fought last weekend or the weekend before.
No,
That didn't look very good for production wise. So this is a lot better than that. Yeah, no, I'm quite happy with it. I think it's looking good. The fight's just started. The fight before, if people are interested, it's in the first round of the co-main event. Yeah, I'm excited. I remember watching Taylor, Joe. I told you not long ago on Channel 5 against Ahara Davis.
Yep.
Remember that was his come out fight for the UK fan because him and Ahara Davis at the time were the 2 biggest prospects in Britain. Grudge match, both undefeated. And since then, I think Taylor's not looked back, to be honest. He's gone forward. He won the Muhammad Ali trophy. He's just built his confidence on and on and on. So Taylor's a great fighter. And I think if he wins tonight, he's going to go down as one of the greatest British fighters of all time already in his career, becoming undisputed champion. So, yeah, it's a big night for British boxing. And like we said earlier, the big fights that are come ahead with COVID over now, what some big fights Taylor could be having in the future in the UK, maybe.
Oh, there's a whole host of fights we could see. We're just in the closing 30 seconds of Cepeda versus Lundy, the first round, the co-feature of this event this evening, and yeah, it's shaping up to be a solid little fight here, just exchanging jabs in the early stages. Cepeda coming down for the body in parts of the round, dipping in out of range, making Lundy miss at the end of the first round. But just going back to Josh Taylor, just his resume and the way he's been built up, for me, has been absolutely phenomenal. So you say about the O'Hara Davis fight, and look, just getting out, that was in August of 2017. Since
Yeah.
then, he's fought Miguel Vazquez, and obviously we've seen Miguel Vazquez arguably beating Lewis Ritson and O'Hara Davis in recent times.
Mm.
We see Winston Cabos, then obviously Victor Postol, who proved himself as a hell of a fighter. Where obviously, when he last time out, when he for Ramirez's last fight, when it was a close fight, and then it went to Ryan Martin, and then it was Ivan Baranchik for the world title, and then he unified straight away in the final of the World Boxing Super Series for the Muhammad Ali Trophy against Regis Prograis. And many people made him an underdog of that fight. It was another 50-50 fight, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people put him as an underdog. And I really enjoyed that. And then obviously his last time out was against Apping Kongsong, and he disposed of him within one round. I think it was that like body shot, wasn't it the body shot?
Yeah.
And it was like a beautiful body shot. And so all different little parts going on to this amazing fight. And look, more news. I didn't want to mention it straight away. I wanted to get into the fight itself, but we've got to read it out. Adam Beanie Smith. They just announced Fury Wilder 3 live on the ESPN broadcast, July 24th, T-Mobile Arena. So it looks that way. It looks that way. The way it is, like, they're only waiting for a press like confirmation. But yeah, in my opinion, it's taken a lot of attention away from this fight this weekend between Taylor and Ramirez. But it's been the talk of every boxing fan about how this whole heavyweight saga's unravelled. So just a quick comment on this, Jay, before because I want to focus on the main event tonight because it is such a big fight, but we can't not talk about Fury Wilder 3, 24th of July, T-Mobile Arena. That's what it looks like, Jay.
Yeah, no, not shocked. We spoke about it this morning. We said it was going to be announced pretty much anytime soon. I said I had Wilder already signed his contract, so what baffles me, it takes 6 months to make the AJ Fury fight, but AJ can make Wilder fights within a day. It just seems crazy. I don't know what negotiations go in that. It just, I know the purse bids might have already been organised or whatnot because of the other fights, but even the other fights were made pretty soon. It just baffles me how quick that they can make them fights. Every Wilder Fury fight's been made pretty simple, and it just makes me think like what sort of politics was going into the AJ fight or whatever. Because they could have had this fight with the AJ fight, they could have had that in April or something. Do you know what I mean? AJ's last fight was in December. But look, that's not on at the moment. The Wilder fight's on. Something to look forward to. Yeah, it's another talking point. Like you say, it's overshadowed Taylor's week this week, which has been unfortunate. Yeah, it's after the thing with AJ and that, to be fair, anything to do with Fury and AJ at the moment, I'm kind of a bit lukewarm. I'm just a bit not really as excited for it. Give it a week or two, I probably will get more excited. Like I say, I'm really invested in this Taylor fight tonight, and then all the commotion we had with the circus with Fury, AJ, dragging on for months and that. I want to actually look forward to some boxing that's happening at the moment. So yeah, no, I will watch the fight as a true hardcore fan. We'll be watching the fight. We'll be getting our teeth stuck into it and that. It's another fight date to look forward to. So yeah, not surprised it's been announced. We'll look forward to it. But like tonight's Taylor's night, I want to look forward to that, and hopefully have some success tonight. But yeah, it's a big fight. You know what I mean? It's a big fight. Don't know what your opinions on it, Joe. What's your opinions on the Wilder Fury 3 fight?
It's a fight. It's a fight I'm looking forward to. Not anywhere as near the amount I was looking forward to AJ Fury. Like, obviously, anyone who watches these live streams and anyone who knows me knows how much I was looking forward to it. It was literally like 14th of August. It was like, okay, nothing's going on there. Like, that's my day. Even the week, that was like, this is a week I just want to sink my teeth into boxing, because for me it was a huge event. It was like culmination for me with my boxing fandom. It would have been the culmination of every fight up to now that I've watched. Like, I've probably been a boxing fan for 8 years, hardcore for 4. Like, and so, and I'm still young. So like, but so most of my life, most of like the life where I can actually understand sport, has been as a boxing fan, and for me that just overshadowed everything. AJ Fury, AJ Fury, AJ Fury. So obviously, if anyone watched the live on Monday night, I think it was, where the news broke, I was visibly gutted. But obviously, I've
Yeah,
got my head around the idea, and oh wow, knocked down, but it was ruled as a slip on the third round here against Lundy. Sorry, guys, and yeah, just quickly back to AJ Fury. So I'm looking forward to Wilder Fury. I've got my head around it, and I'm looking forward to AJ itself. And I just hope they can get on later on in the year. And for anyone asking in the comments, I think Barry Locke, what time ring walk, please? We're in the third round of Zepeda Lundy, which is the third of 10 rounds, and it's the co-main event, the chief support. So it should probably be, I reckon, around 40 minutes now, because I think they want to move it ahead pretty sharpish tonight, because they said they wanted to make it earlier. So yeah. I saw someone ask, will Pro Beez be joining? Yes, he will, I believe, for the main event itself. He'll jump on and give his opinions on the big fight. But it's shaping up well, this Zepeda Lundy fight. Some good exchanges going on. Obviously, we know Zepeda is an exciting fighter, but all eyes on the main event tonight. All eyes on the main event. Josh Taylor.
I'm going to be doing some
Jose
scoring tonight as well,
Ramirez. Joe. Yep. Jay's got his scorecards out, and hopefully they won't be controversial, Jay. That's all I'm saying.
No, hopefully not. No, I'll do it as neutral as I can. Obviously,
Of course.
Obviously, I'm a Taylor fan, and obviously I want Taylor to win. But obviously, with the Watchalong and that, I'll do it as fairly as I see the fight possible. Yeah, that would be interesting. Going back to obviously before the Fury talk and that, I want to go back to if the viewers out there, if you've got American viewers out there, I remember when Taylor fought Martin. He was known as a big American. There was quite a lot of hype about him, and I remember that fight. And I remember Taylor really went through Martin. That was a dominant performance by Taylor, and yeah, I was really impressed with that, because I remember a lot of people were picking Martin to beat Josh Taylor at the time, and yeah, it was a great victory. And also the Post style fight, like you said, great victory by Taylor in that fight. But I think the fight that we all loved was the Regis Prograis fight.
Yeah,
that was a barn burner. It was a slugfest. It was an epic fight of the year, I think it was, for that year. Absolutely. Oh, it was so good, so good. I actually watched it back earlier today. It was amazing. So yeah, Taylor's in there for entertainment. You know he's going to give you the entertainment. It's definitely worth your money. So tonight's well spent, I think. Yeah, and Taylor, do you know what I mean? He's got to be highly ranked. He was picked up by Top Rank. He's very highly thought of, and
unified world champion as well.
Unified world champion, yeah. And I just think for Britain, he's one of the top fighters, like you say, pound for pound. I told you, didn't I? I had him. If he wins this tonight, he's in my top 3 pound for pound of all the fighters.
Wow.
So to be the undisputed in your weight category is a massive achievement. There's not many out there. If there was, then it wouldn't be as highly anticipated as the fight is tonight. So look at his record: 17 wins, 13 KOs, and within, say, 18 fights, he could be undisputed champion. So some fighters are not even getting a world title fight before that. So we saw Ricky Hatton 25 fights before he had a British title fight. So
yep,
it's a good record here by Taylor. I just hope that he, like I keep saying, the only worry I have is that where he's got so much confidence, he's overlooking Ramirez and thinking he can go through him. You need that to be a top fighter. You need to have that confidence about you, but obviously just give your opponent that little bit of respect, that you don't overlook him too much, because he is a good fighter, Taylor. Like you said, he's very tough. Got that Mexican descent in him. You know how tough the Mexicans are, and they love their fighting. And Ramirez is the home fighter tonight as well. So look, Ramirez is going to be confident. The guy's never lost either. So look, it's a very, very competitive fight, but I'm just so excited, Joe. I might not sound it. It's quite early in the morning. Got the kids in bed, the neighbours next door.
Yeah.
trying to keep it composed. But I'm sure once the fight gets going, that that would definitely be a bit more livelier. But like I say, I'm doing the scoring. I don't want to come across biased if the scorecards come in 10-2 or something by the end of it or whatever. But no, look, I'm excited. I like scoring. I like looking at the fights closely. But even better, it's a massive, massive fight for boxing in general. I think the Americans are looking forward to the fight. I think they're a massive boxing community. We love the American fans. They're very passionate. They're going to be behind Ramirez. I'd like to see their views in the comments, what they think about Taylor. Like I said, Martin was a big fight for Taylor in a couple of years ago. He dispatched of him. So yeah, I'd be intriguing to see what the viewers think, what their thoughts are on the fight, Joe. If there's any comments coming in or anything like that. So yeah, I'd like to see what the viewers are
keep
saying.
them coming in. Keep them coming in. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Pet Talk UK. Adam Beanie Smith says Taylor doing it for Scotland tonight, bringing home 5 belts, obviously referring to all 4 major world titles, as well as that prestigious Ring Magazine belt, which he already holds because it was after his win in the World Boxing Super Series final against Regis Prograis. But yeah, you want to be undisputed. You want to, like, how big is that to become undisputed champion of the world? It doesn't matter what weight division you're in. It doesn't matter what country you're from. It's the biggest and the best for me in boxing. Like, you can't get better than that. You cannot get better than becoming an undisputed champion because it means you fought all the world champions. Like,
yeah, I think the Ring Magazine title should only be on the line in them fights. I know the Ring Magazine title does go on the line, and I think it should only be on the line for the undisputed when it's all the marbles, and that's the number one, because the Ring Magazine means you're number one in the division. And I think sometimes you'll have the WBC and WBA and the Ring Magazine champion, but you'll still have another 1 or 2 other champions, and there's that debate still. I think if you have all the marbles on the table, you can't argue who's number one then. So, but they do it obviously, like we say, like we've said in other shows, they use with all the boxing promotions, it's to help the promoters and that get other big fights to have the multiple world championships. So I do understand it, but I do like the purity of when it's all the titles on the line, like you say, the Ring Magazine, no stone left unturned. After this fight, whoever wins tonight is the king at 140, and I like that. There's going to be no dispute. That's that. There's going to be no other world title holder out there going, look, I'm number one, you got to fight me. So yeah, and the Ring Magazine, like I say, is a beautiful, beautiful title. I really, really love that title. I love the design of it, and yeah, Taylor or Ramirez will need a bigger trophy cabinet tonight if either guy wins, because they've got a couple of extra straps they're going to take home with themselves. And yeah, I'd like to see, and you got Ben Davison in the corner, his first outing since the Billy Joe Saunders fight, so it'd be nice to see Ben out, getting back into the ring, doing what he does, coaching and that. So yeah, I think Taylor's got a good corner. I think Ben Davison's a great trainer. He went there from Shane McGuigan, and I think it's a good combination there. So I'm intrigued to see them two tonight in the corner.
Definitely. And just going back to the belts quickly, the way I understand it, just with the Ring Magazine, Jay, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think that the way they hand out the Ring Magazine, because obviously it's not on the line, it's not available to just fight for like every other world title. I think the way it is because the Ring Magazine have their own rankings, and I think it's if number one fights number 2 in their rankings, they'll put the Ring Magazine on the line, or if number 1 fights number 3. I think because I think Josh Warrington was saying it, because it come up in conversation quite a bit, because there was talk about him fighting, I think, Kanzu for the Ring Magazine, because it was number 1 versus number 3. So they have their own way of doing it, and it's certainly in a lot of people's eyes more prestigious than any other world title. Because for a casual fan, there's 2 belts that casual fans would instantly recognise, in my opinion. That's your green and gold belt, which is the WBC, and the Rocky belt, which is obviously the Ring magazine, because I think obviously Rocky have made that the Ring magazine belt so famous, and yeah, if you're a boxer, you want that Ring magazine belt, Jay.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't have a dispute with the 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3.
Mm.
It just gets a bit messy when there's other world champions in the weight category, and it kind of you've got that debate still, if you know what I mean. I just like when it's
Mm.
conclusive. Like say, if Warrington beat his opponent and would have got the Ring magazine title, I probably wouldn't have argued that he would have been #1, but there would have been another world champion out there, and there still would have been a debate. Oh, is he actually #1? I think once you have all the titles in there with the Ring magazine, there's no dispute. Yeah, so yeah, no, I like the way they do it. I think the rankings is fine. It's just sometimes I think when there's multiple world champions, they're all there arguing, claiming who's #1, and that's why I like it when there's just a definitive #1 world champion. But that's the times we're in now. But yeah, I'm happy that the Ring magazine title's on the line tonight. It's definitely worthy of it, so you can't argue with that. And yeah, it's probably one of my favourite belts with the WBC belt. Thanks to Rocky, you know, I love Rocky Balboa, and that's probably one of my
Yeah,
favourite belts. So,
love it.
yeah, no, I agree. I think that the WBC and the Ring magazine are the most two titles that most fighters want, and which then kind of makes me think, why do they not just try and sort out to be a one world championship? Because I know they all mean a lot in that, but I still want to go back to the old school one world champion and just have the one person crowned as the king. But it probably won't ever happen in boxing. But yeah, you know my views on that. I
Yeah.
do like the one champion instead of the 4, but it is what it is.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be speaking about that in maybe a future live very, very soon, about just politics of boxing in general and 4 belts and all of that sort of stuff. And just addressing some comments here, Ahmed Mamini Bar says, "Where can I watch the fight, please?" It is on Fight TV with a retail price of £12.99. I believe. I think it's £12.99, so £13, and I didn't mind paying that at all. I don't know about you, Jay, but I didn't mind paying that for an undisputed title fight. But is it a shame that no major broadcaster has picked this one up in BT Sports or Sky Sports or even ITV, Channel 5? Obviously, Channel 5 had a show on this evening, but is it a shame that we're not seeing this on one of the big broadcasters in the UK?
100%. I definitely would have thought it would have been on a massive UK broadcast. Maybe the timing, maybe they thought it might not get the viewers in. Yeah, I'm shocked, especially where DAZN had the Canelo Billy Joe Saunders fight. You would have thought BT or Sky would have jumped at the chance to get an undisputed fight a couple of weeks later to keep boxing rolling on one of their channels. Yeah, I won't lie, I am pretty shocked. To be fair, Joe. It's definitely, like we say, it's undisputed Ring magazine title, 2 undefeated fighters. Like you say, I'm happy to pay the £13 on a Fight TV, and great value for money. It's look, I paid £9.99 for KSI versus Logan Paul, so
Did you?
I can't grumble. Yeah, I can't grumble that you can't grumble with £12.99 for this. Yeah, I'll watch any boxing, Joe. I'll watch white collar boxing, Joe. I'll watch street fights on YouTube, mate. Any type of fight.
Fight
I'll watch
sports
any
with you
type
as
of
well,
combat.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, anything. I'll watch street fights. Any type of fighting. Have you seen them 2 little kids fighting on Instagram? Them, I think they're Russian kids. There's like memes going around and that.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen?
They like facing off
even
together. That was
Joe.
crazy.
Even that makes me laugh, Joe. So yeah, any type of fighting and that, I'm involved. But yeah, for value for money, yeah, great value for money. 13, but I would have liked the undercard to be little bit better. But just for this fight itself, I would have paid £13 for. So can't grumble. But I'm proper shocked that Sky didn't get it. To be fair, especially with we don't know what's going on with Eddie Hearn. They took the Logan Mayweather fight. To be fair, I would rather watch this fight on Sky than the Logan Mayweather fight. But yeah, it's just crazy. But lucky for us fighting fans, we've got a platform like Fight TV. Like we hear from Kenny years ago, there used to be times where you didn't even get to see the fight live. You'd watch it the following night, not even knowing what the result is, and that's how times have changed. So we're lucky in the fact that we've got the apps available to get this content. But yeah, I'm shocked. I'm even shocked someone like ITV didn't pick it up, Joe. It's a massive fight for UK broadcasters. So it's probably COVID times. If it wasn't for COVID, I'm pretty adamant one of them would have picked it up. Sky loved the Pro Grey fight, so
Yeah,
yeah, shocked but not surprised.
I think it's. I'm not surprised. I must admit, I was kind of expecting BT because Josh Taylor's last fight was on BT Sports with Akon Song. But the only problem I have with it, and it's not really a problem, it's just a bit like gutted really for the fighters, if anything else, is for the casual fan when it's on BT Sports and Sky Sports. If you're a casual sport fan and and you tune in for the boxing every now and then. Say like Conor Ben's on Sky, or Lyndon Arthur's on BT. For 2 weeks beforehand, there's going to be promos every single day on BT Sports. In the breaks of half time of like Man United versus Man City, all the biggest football matches, the biggest sporting events is going to be promoted the hell out of. So you know that fight is happening on the 22nd of May. Do you know what I mean? So, and now for something like Fight TV, which is fantastic because we get to see it, but you have to go and look for it. Like it's not going to be in your face. So a lot of casual fans won't, because a lot of casual fans don't actively go out seeking fights. Then we might not get the audience it would have got if it was maybe at the same price point on somewhere like Sky Sports or BT Sports. So that's the only thing I'm a bit gutted about. But I'm just hoping that obviously splashed all over social media and everything like that, and people will understand and realise that this is an undisputed fight of this magnitude, and I hope people will tune in.
Yeah, no, I agree, Joe. If it was on Sky or BT, this would have been everywhere, every advert, all week. It would have been on Sky Sports News. It would have been, like you say, it would have been everywhere, all over their social media pages. So, no, I agree. If the fight was on BT or Sky, I think it would be 10 times bigger than what it is now. Luckily for us, we're in this day and age where we got all these multiple YouTube channels like ourselves that you can find out about fights, content. You can find out about all this stuff. So, in that aspect, it's lucky we got that. But no, I totally agree. If it was on Sky, the build up, the coverage they would have got would have been second to none. It's like you say, with the news with the AJ Fury, it's overshadowed this week, which has been a big shame because, like you say, it's a huge fight and it didn't have enough publicity as it had to start off with, being on Fight TV. So it needed as much exposure as it could get. And I think with the AJ Fury news this week, kind of dampened it a little bit. And like we said, we had comments tonight about the Wilder Fury 3 being announced. So yeah, I do feel sorry for the fight in that aspect. But look, I think if Taylor wins this tonight, people, he, like I say, is going to be definitely number one pound for pound in the UK. He'll have to be an undisputed champion, undefeated. Name me another UK fighter in that position. So UK pound for pound number one. My top 3 pound for pound if he wins it in the world tonight. So look, there's some big fights out there. I wanted the Manny Pacquiao fight, didn't I? I spoke to you yesterday about this, Joe.
Yeah.
I said I wanted Taylor to go up and fight Pacquiao, a massive name to go on his record.
And that was before we see Pacquiao Spence.
Yeah, so he probably won't get that fight now. But obviously, Pac-Man's got a big fight against Spence. But look, these are the sort of fights that we were talking about for Taylor to go on to next.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, the likes of that. So once you've owned your division, it's time to go up. I think after that, you've beat everyone. You've got all the titles. So, yeah, I think if Taylor wins tonight up to 147, look, let's not disregard Ramirez. Ramirez is a great fighter. We don't want to be here tonight. Obviously, we're a UK channel, we're UK fan base, but obviously we're boxing fans as well. So we like to give everyone the respect that they deserve.
Big fan.
Yeah, and Ramirez is a great fighter. Look, Ramirez is a great fighter, and after this fight, I will be a fan of Ramirez, like I was before this fight. But we want Taylor to win, and that's just the way that our support's going tonight. But we're not going to discredit Ramirez. He's a great fighter. Used to be an Olympian, unbeaten, WBC champion, and look, it will be a great fight tonight, people. An absolute great fight, an absolute war. Obviously, Pro Beez is going to be joining us, Joe said. So obviously, when the main man comes out, it's got to be a big fight. So
Of
look, it's
course.
a big fight. It's a big fight all round, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to hear some of your people's reactions, really, because that's what it's all about. It's all about the fans. So yeah, excited.
That's what we're all about here, Pep Talk UK. So smash that like button, smash that subscribe button for plenty more lives like this and the best interviews with the likes of Pro Beez, Shaz, and like just check us out. Just check and see if it's a bit of you, and let us know what you think of this fight tonight. Let us know what you think in general about Spence versus Pacquiao. Even let us know what you think about where the winner is in terms of pound for pound top 10, and most importantly, who wins this fight and by what method, because it is such an exciting and in many ways unpredictable fight. And you said, Jay, about you hope that Josh Taylor isn't overlooking Ramirez. And obviously, I'd like to think he isn't, because obviously Ramirez is a unified world champion. But just the fact that you even might suggest that, does that just show how good that Josh Taylor is?
Yeah, no. Look, there's nothing wrong with having that air of confidence about yourself, about to think that you're the man, and I think Taylor is the man, and I like that confidence. But obviously, you got to have the level-headedness to obviously not overlook your opponents and think that I'm not going to train as hard, or just not give it your all. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Taylor's done that. I think Taylor's an absolute beast. I've seen him training, I've seen him in the gym, I've seen what he does, and he's a top quality professional. He was a great amateur. He's an even better professional. And I'm not saying he has overlooked Ramirez. I'm just saying if there's one thing that I think could go against Taylor, if he has. But I'm not saying he has, and I'm not saying he will. I just hope he hasn't, because when you get to this top level, Joe, if you underestimate anybody, we've seen it many times, you can come unstuck. Anything can happen in a fight. And you don't want to get in them tough situations where you've overlooked an opponent, and like we've heard from some of the comments, Taylor gets a cut above the eye, or something happens, like adversity happens, and you've got to try and fight against something that you didn't expect to happen. If you overlook someone, them times get a lot tougher. But if you haven't, you can go through it and you can come out the other side. So that's all I'm saying is I hope Taylor's, which I'm sure he has. Look, Ramirez is a great fighter. We've already spoke about it. He's undefeated. But I love that. You see it, Taylor, when he was going for the weigh-in and that, he was just looking. He wasn't intimidated. He's the guy looking to intimidate the opponents I'm seeing now. He's telling them, are you ready for this? So I love all that. I love it all. But obviously, we're here to give our opinions, and we've got to give the good and the bad. And we're just saying that if there's anything that Taylor could have in his weakness, because we've not really seen any weaknesses in Taylor, is if he's too confident and he's overlooking Ramirez. But I'm hoping that's not the case. In his last performance, a one-round knockout, we didn't really know much about his opponent, but it was a great performance by Taylor. So I want Nat Taylor to come in. I want him to come in strong, come in fast, and just pill it on Ramirez. But look, I just hope it's a great fight for the boxing fans. That's all I'm looking forward to. I don't want it to be no controversial endings or anything like that. We want it nice and decisive this evening. We want a winner. And even if Ramirez wins fair and square, I'll congratulate Ramirez. And we'll say what a fighter. And we'll look forward to the fights Ramirez is going to have in the future. Because, look, we've seen the Mexicans come to the UK the last few months, the last year, make a name for himself, make upsets. We're not saying this will be an upset, but this is a great chance for Ramirez to get on the scene with the UK fans, the wider boxing world. And it's his opportunity too. So Ramirez is going to come there. He's game. We saw a little scuffle yesterday. We saw don't know if you saw that, the little scuffle. Dean White was there. Saw his interview, to the rescue, getting involved, trying to break the scuffles up. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting fight. You still there, Joe? Oh, Joe's froze on me, people.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, you.
Sorry,
All good?
mate. I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, no, sorry. I just froze there for a second. I don't know what happened there. But just getting some of the comments in. It's dividing people, the fight. It's dividing people. Alan Drummond says Josh Taylor is going to destroy him. And then we've got Gelato Runt says Taylor is getting stopped by around 10. A great point. Just an interesting point that I haven't heard many people talk about in the build up to this fight, actually, from DJ M1. And I'm interested to know your opinion on this. I would be going for Taylor if Shane was still in the corner. Obviously, this is, I think, Taylor's second fight with Ben Davison after moving from the Wiggins after the Prograis fight. How much of an impact do you think that could play in the fight against Ramirez tonight, Jay?
An interesting point. It's the first fight, like you say, at this sort of level. Obviously, they had the last fight, which was a 1-round knockout. You can't really take too much from that. But look, the proof will be in the pudding after the fight, Joe. You don't know what's going to happen. Like, we could be sitting here going, "Oh, will it be a bad thing?" And Taylor gets knocked out, or if Taylor wins, then Ben Davison's the best thing since sliced bread. It's a bit like football, really. If you win, the coach is fantastic. If you lose, the coach is terrible. So I ain't going to think too much about it. Look, Ben Davison's a world-class trainer. He's been in massive fights with Tyson Fury. Like, I saw the comment there, Mark Tibbs should sharp in the corner. Yeah, we got a bit of banter in the house tonight. We appreciate a bit of banter. And then he was in the fight last 2 weeks ago. So I guess we're getting... tonight's the undisputed John D. Rocky. 100%, all the marbles. Uno, number one, the champion. Look, tonight we're going to get the number one at 140. The king will be crowned. And that is that. So, yeah, thank you for your kind message there. But, going back to Ben Davison, I don't think it'd be an issue. But, obviously, that will be a talking point after the fight, Joe. I don't think it's really a talking point before the show. It was a great comment, and I think the viewer, you got a great point there. But it's one of them debates that, like you say, you're not really going to get an answer till after the fight. So, look, we'll keep that in mind, and that will be in my thought process when I'm watching the fight tonight. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. And, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see Ben in the corner this evening.
Definitely. And JP Rod says the winner will definitely be the fans. And I agree with that. Because all week I've been watching footage, old fights of the pair of them, and I just can't see it be anything else. It being a great fight. Like, style wise, I just think it could merge fantastic and could really, mid to late rounds, develop into an interesting fight that could potentially go either way. And I think I agree with you in what you said, Jay. And you've said it all week that the first 3 rounds is going to be really pivotal for Josh Taylor. And he needs to assert his authority. He really does. Because, again, just going back to the Ramirez versus Hooker fight, that is what Ramirez done from round 1. He stamped his authority. He was throwing his punches on the front foot, showing he was there. So I just think the first 3 rounds extremely important, but I think the mid to late rounds will be very, very telling. And just for anyone who isn't actually watching the broadcast at home, it is round 10 of Zepeda versus Lundy. And we've been watching the fight on and off, Jay, but because we've been obviously talking about the main event because it's just such a huge talking point, obviously, and it's such a massive fight. But this is the chief support, which means we will be getting the fight very shortly. And I, for one, cannot wait. I think it's absolutely just, it's a fight. As soon as Josh Taylor signed for Top Rank after the World Boxing Super Series, because a lot of people assumed that because the World Boxing Super Series final was on Sky, that Josh Taylor would then go on and sign with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. And I think even a lot of eyebrows were raised. But as soon as those, I was ecstatic, really, because I knew that Ramirez was with Top Rank, and that for me was the fight I wanted to see straight away. And obviously, he had to deal with Akon Song, and the pandemic postponed it slightly. We probably would have seen it earlier, probably the latter parts of last year. But we're here now. That's all that matters on the tonight. Fight TV, Pet Talk UK, more importantly, giving you the running the commentary all the way. Josh Taylor versus Ramirez for
Hey
all.
Joe, just a quick one. What,
Okay.
before the fight, we've sorted out the timings because I think you're about 30 seconds ahead of me.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
we'll
I'm not. I'm
definitely
not sure.
sync this up.
I'm 1:15 left of the round, so I don't know how far
I'm
you are
1-7.
on.
I'm
Well, oh, so
1-7.
you're only a
So
couple. You're only a couple of seconds, and oh, that's all right.
yeah,
You're
I'll
the
sort
lead
it out.
anyway, so yeah, no,
No,
that's
we'll
cool.
sort it out. We'll link it up. We'll link it up definitely. So we're calling it at the same time, so we can really, really get them reactions in tonight, because I have a feeling that could get emotional if
It could be a
if
good
uh,
one.
if Britain gets first ever undisputed champion of the 4-belt era, then I will be ecstatic, because as I said, I've been a huge fan. I was at the Prograis fight, and just that fight, just quickly going back to the Prograis fight, that night for me, it was one of those nights you just always remember, because obviously Josh Taylor's a Scot, and the fight took place in London, and so many fans travelled. And obviously, Ricky Burns versus Lee Selby was also on the undercard. So
Yeah,
Welsh fans had
classic.
travelled, more Scottish fans had travelled. Derek Chisora versus, who was it? It was meant to be Joseph Parker, wasn't it? But ended up being David Price. So it was like fight fans from all around Great Britain had come together for this fantastic card, and the atmosphere on the night was absolutely amazing. And when he said, and the new and still, obviously, because it was a unification from Scotland, Josh Taylor, just the relief, because it was close. It was a close fight,
It
and
was a close fight.
if anything, if the big fights don't come for Josh Taylor, and he wants to stay at this weight division, I would love to see a rematch with Regis Prograis. I would love to see it. I would love to.
Yeah,
I want to see Regis Prograis fight the winner in a rematch down the line. If like the winner can't get, if maybe if a Teofimo Lopez moves up, as we said, or they move up to T-Buck Crawford, I would love to see Regis Prograis fight either or Josh Taylor or Ramirez.
no, I agree with you there, Joe. I think that would be an absolutely great fight. The Ramirez fight would be a great fight, but the rematch, like we said, it was that evening. It was a great evening. There were some great fights. We had the obviously Chisora kicking off beforehand, saying that he should be the main event and all that. So that was a big a lot of eyes on that card. And yeah, I think in that fight, like I said, I thought Prograis started better in the first 6 rounds, and I thought Taylor picked it up and won the later rounds and won the middle of the fight. So I thought Taylor nicked it by a round, but I thought Prograis showed on that night he's world class as well. So yeah, that would be a great, interesting rematch. What I like as well is you know, Joe, if you get a special fighter from Ireland or Scotland, they get a whole nation behind them. With the
Yeah,
UK, we're quite blessed. I'll say England because Scotland is part of the UK, but just for other viewers watching in England, there's a lot of fighters out there. We've got a few world champions, so maybe when we get a world championship fight, the magnitude's not as big as what, say, a Scotland when they've only got one world champion. They get right behind their own, and it's a special, unique feeling. Like you said, Joe, we've had Lee Selby in Wales. The Welsh, they get behind their own. The Irish, we know how passionate they are. They get
Carl
behind their
Frampton.
own. Cole Frampton, yeah, a great example there. And then in Scotland, you've got Josh Taylor. I remember the nights with Ricky Burns, massive in Scotland. The Scots love
Massive.
him. One of my favourite fighters and favourite commentators of all time, Jim Watt. What a legend. So Scotland, they've produced some
Wow, yeah.
great fighters over the years. And once they get beyond their own, and as we've seen with Josh Taylor, they're like a hero, an instant hero. Because look, we've had some world champions in the UK/England, shall we say, who are not as popular as a Josh Taylor, not as popular as a Cole Frampton, like say the likes of Jamie McDonald, who's just retired. Great fighter. I enjoyed following his career, but for say the majority of the fans, they probably wouldn't even know who the guy is, which is a shame. But what I'm saying is people like Josh Taylor, when they've got a whole nation behind them, it's a different type of feel. And you can feel that tonight. You can feel, even though there's not going to be any Scots there, but Taylor's got that following, and it's a special, unique feeling. So yeah, I love all that. I
Yeah,
love it. I
no,
love it when the passion of a nation gets behind a fighter.
Yeah, I love that, and just a little update here. Zapata won by unanimous decision. That fight has just finished, which means it won't be long until it is time for the big one. But just going back to that, Jay, about how a nation gets behind the fight, and that's what I love about British boxing fans is everyone says there's nothing like us. Realistically, like the atmosphere is unbelievable, and the same goes for the Mexican fight fans, and that's why. Oh, how good would it have been in like a big stadium or big arena in Scotland for Ramirez versus Taylor, undisputed fight. But as I say, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're just glad that we've got this fight tonight. We've got, and who's
Oh,
to say?
100%.
Because I've said it that I really think this could be an excellent fight. Who's to say that we can't get a rematch, even in Scotland? Saying 6 months down the line, hopefully COVID's cleared, hopefully gone, and we get that. Just what a night that'd be! What a night that'd be!
I'll be a devil's advocate here, Joe. I think there'll only be a rematch if there's a controversial ending. Maybe say like I don't
Yep.
know, a controversial points or a controversial stoppage, maybe. Which look, I'm all fun and games for a storyline and stuff like that. But obviously, on an undisputed fight, obviously I want a conclusive winner tonight. I don't want any debates. But yeah, I agree with you. Could be a rematch in the future. But also, I think whoever wins this tonight, Joe, goes up to 147. Like I say, once you've claimed
Yeah.
your weight division, unless you're heavyweight, then like I say, the big fights now for Taylor after this is at 147 or Ramirez. Like I said, there's big fights at 147 for Ramirez. So look, Terence Crawford's the guy that I think everyone wants to get hold of in 147, and I think for either guy winning this, that's who I would go for.
Okay. Yeah. Even Ramirez, you think Ramirez should move up to
Yeah,
147 because he isn't the biggest 140?
Um, yeah, that's the difference with Ramirez and Taylor. I'd say that, but.
Mm.
Look, if you in this day and age, if you want to be a pound for pound great, if that's your ambition, you've got to go up in the weights. Look, Canelo, you've got to go up. But it's what each guy's ambition is. I don't know personally what Ramirez's ambition is. If he's happy at 140, he's comfortable. He wants to become undisputed and then keep defending his title. I don't have no idea. I'm just saying personally what I'd like from either fighter or any fighter who becomes undisputed. Look for the next challenge. Look for the next weight up. See if you can become a legacy fighter, because that's what it gets to. There's been hundreds of fighters who have become world champion. It's the ones that are willing to take it to the next step to become a two-weight world champion or a two-time world champion when adversity doesn't kind of go their way, or if they've achieved what they wanted to achieve at that weight, they move up into the next weight. So, look, I like fighters who, when they become number one, move up and become number one again, and that's the true great. So, if you want to be number one on that pound for pound list, I'll be looking to go up. But like I say, it's whatever each guy's got their own personal dream. Each fighter's got their own destiny that they want to go to. So, look, I'm happy for him to go to 147, but if they're happy to stay at 140, I'm equally happy as a fan as well, Joe.
Definitely. And guys, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, get your comments coming in, get your predictions coming in. And we have got some coming in, and we're discussing it all night, giving you the commentary of the fight, our instant reactions. And I'd love if you would share yours in the comments. DJ M1 says, I want Taylor to win, but the Mexican style fighters have given British fighters hell this year. And we've seen it a lot. Obviously, Warrington, Lara, Straffon, James Tennyson, sorry, and even Robbie Davis Jr. lost there.
Andy Ruiz against AJ, if you want to go a little bit further back.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz against AJ, and then Alan Cummins.
That started it, really.
Obviously huge upset. Alan Cummins says Taylor's 9th on the pound for pound rankings. A win puts him right up there. So you're saying pound for pound top 3, Jay. Personally, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm definitely in around the pound for pound top 5. But I just think there's obviously such a plethora of pound for pound stars at the minute. So it's been really tight. And I know me and you have been speaking about potentially doing a pound for pound list for Pep Talk. So let us know if that'd be something you'd be interested in watching. And let us even know your pound for pound top 5s, even 10s at the minute. And
John, Joe, let me tell everyone what my top 3 is quickly then.
Go on. What's your top three, Jay?
Canelo number 1, Crawford number 2, Taylor number 3 if he wins tonight. And I'll just quickly explain my reasoning and why. My pound for pound is fighters who go up and down in weight or they're undisputed in their weight. So that's my category. So obviously Canelo goes up and down the weights. You can't argue with that. Crawford, undefeated, has gone up. He's a 2-weight world champion. And then you got Taylor, who could be undisputed in his weight class. So unless there's another, that's my category for that 3. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of debate out there. But that is if Taylor wins tonight. Obviously, he's number 9 at the moment in the current rankings. I personally would have him between 6 and 7 at the moment. But if he wins tonight, he goes to number 3. But that's my category. And like Joe said, we're looking maybe to get a show out there if the viewers want to see it, a pound for pound list, and have a good debate. But yeah, that's just my top 3 quickly, just in case anyone was wanting to know who was above. I can see people going, number 3, who's above Taylor or who's in the mix with. But yeah, that's mine. Alvarez 1, Crawford 2, and then.
And then who is your number 3 at the minute then? Before this fight then, Jay, obviously you say it'd be Taylor if he won tonight, but who would it be?
My number 3 at the moment maybe would be Errol Spence.
Okay.
There's a lot of top fighters, but like I say, maybe Errol Spence, Usyk's in there just because he was undisputed cruiserweight and he's undefeated at heavyweight, but he's not really had a challenge at heavyweight. So let's rank Usyk just as cruiserweight. He's probably in there as well, but
so many
many names, yeah.
Lopez, Usyk,
Lopez,
Neuer Anui. We've got Errol Spence. There's so many fantastic names, and it's so tight that even I love Oscar Valdez at the minute. Obviously, just had that beautiful knockout, probably knockout of the year against Pachel. I really do rate him, and obviously, I was trying to put my pound for pound top 10 list together just for myself this week at some point, and the difficulties I had. I didn't even complete it, I must admit, because when you're looking at that, it's so tight. It is so tight. And just seeing here, Otter Carmen says, I want Josh to win. However, Jose is going to smash him up. He's a monster. And certainly I think his speed is, I think he just keeps coming. And he's got a great finishing ability about him, Ramirez. And it's very different to his personality because he comes across like such a nice guy. Throughout the build-up, he's come across like so calm, collected, nice guy. It's been mentioned like the amount of work he does for charity and helping a lot of people out. But as we said, we're both fans of Ramirez. We're both fans of Josh Taylor. However, we got back to Brit tonight. And for those 36 minutes when they're fighting, I don't know about you, Jade, but I'll be backing Josh Taylor. But before and after,
100%,
it goes back to a fan of both.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a fan of both. What's interesting is, like you say, Ramirez is such a nice guy. I was reading comments just before we come on live saying how much he wants to knock Taylor out tonight, and maybe that could work against him. You know what? Maybe Taylor's trying to make him a hothead, come in reckless early on, and for Ramirez to keep, I think he should stay calm, try and not let Taylor get to his head. But sounds like Taylor's already got to him a little bit with some of his comments he said. But like you say, I'm a fan of both guys. I'm a fan of boxing. Like I always say, I'm an advocate for all fighters. I'll support all fighters. But obviously, when it comes down to the crunch, look, I'm gonna have certain fighters that I'm gonna support more than others. That's just natural. Taylor's one of them. Taylor's one of my top, like I say, top 3 or 4 fighters that I love watching in general. So I'm gonna support him. It was a bit more difficult in the Billy Joe Saunders fight versus Canelo because obviously I'm a massive Billy Joe Saunders fan. Also a massive Canelo fan. That evening, as a fan, I wasn't able to, I'll say, enjoy it in an aspect as I'm going to enjoy it a lot more tonight. I was a lot more nervous because it was even though this is a massive fight, that was a massive fight as well. And I didn't feel like I could enjoy it as much as I can enjoy tonight's fight just because of the pure nerves. I don't know about you, Joe. On that evening, it was just an amazing thing. So 2 weeks later to have this massive fight tonight, I'm looking forward to being able to relax a little bit more. I know I'm going to be scoring the fight, but being able to relax a little more and enjoy it. I was so nervous in that Billy Joe Saunders fight. I just didn't know how it was going to pan out. And the nerves was unreal. So tonight, I'm a bit more relaxed, looking forward to it. So yeah, I don't know about yourself. I don't know if you feel a little bit different than that night. I know you're going to be just as nervous as a Taylor fan.
Yeah,
So
I said to you, I'm nervous because obviously I'd love Taylor to do it, and he's got a great chance tonight, a really great chance. For me, it is a 50-50 fight, and I struggle to favour either or. I really do. I must admit, at the start of the week, I favoured Josh Taylor. But then just
yeah,
watching Ramirez, the build up of it all, the fights they both had, it is a 50-50 fight. It is, for me, a 50-50 fight. And John D. Rocky says, not mad at a 4 belt champion being at the top of any pound for pound list, not mad at all. Jamie Bickle says, Taylor, great boxer, but he's going down tonight, my Scottish friends. I know you guys want to see any Mexican boxer defeated ASAP, but tonight is not the night, pals. Good vibes. So, look.
we love that. We love that.
Yeah, I love that, because the thing is, this is probably the live I've done, and me and you have both done, that has divided opinions most. I've got to say, I
Yeah.
can't think of a last live we've done where this is a divided opinion. Look, JB says, did you have Billy Joe winning on your scorecard? Interesting question. I don't. It's not entirely relevant to this, but we'll certainly answer it. I had it a draw after the 8 rounds. I had it 4 rounds apiece. I don't know what you had it, Jay.
I had it 4 rounds to 3 to Canelo with 1 drawn round. I had the first round a draw, and then
Okay.
I had it 4-3 to Canelo. Yeah, it was a close fight. Look, it was a close fight. But at the end of the day, Canelo hit the winning shot. It's like having a free kick or something. He hit him in the eye socket, and it was good night. So, yeah, it was a good fight that night. Look, tonight's Taylor Ramirez's night.
Yeah.
I had it 4-3 with 1 drawn one, but it's regardless, it doesn't matter. He got finished, so it doesn't matter what the scoring was that evening. But yeah, that was my scorecards. Like Joe said, it's very close tonight in the comments, and that very split, and we love that. Look, we're here for the fans. We're not here to be fans for one side or the other. We're here for everybody. We want the Ramirez fans to come in. We're happy that you're joining us. We want the Taylor fans in as well. And look,
all good vibes.
Yeah, all good vibes. Look, this is for boxing. Boxing's the winner. As fans, we all unite. We can have a bit of banter about who we want to win. But at the end of the day, boxing wins, has already been said in the comments, and it truly does. And we're happy. I'm happy to see passionate fans for Ramirez, because I know that you're supporting your boy, and you're just as passionate as we are for who we're supporting. So kudos to all you fans out there. Keep tuning in, keep liking and subscribing, like Joe says. Let's get these numbers up. And look, this channel's for the fans, and these watch-alongs are for the fans. And look, we've got a great fight coming up now. We're looking at the reach, 72-inch reach for Ramirez, 69.5 for Taylor. Some big knockouts between these two guys. So look, it's going to be a great fight. And like we're saying with the politics, Joe, which we were saying earlier, we're going to look at doing another show in the future, talking about all the belts and everything like that, and everything that's going on at the moment. So I'm glad some of the people in the comments are responding to that. But what we were talking about earlier, Joe, earlier in the day when we had a telephone chat, is imagine this fight on that new boxing game coming out.
Oh yes, the Esports Boxing Club. Yeah, that'd be
so like
something
these sort
I'm
of
very
fights.
looking forward to. I'm really excited about the Esports Boxing Club, and to have fighters. Obviously, I know Josh Taylor's in the game itself, and look, we're just getting the ring walks here with Ramirez. But just very, very quick word on that. Can't wait for that fight. Can't wait for that game to be released, and we'll definitely be playing it. We'll definitely have a little bit of a competition, a little bit of a rivalry between myself and yourself, Jay. But
yeah, and if any of the viewers are looking forward to the new game as well, get your thoughts in. And obviously, it's big for boxing. We've not had a big fighting game since Fight Night 2011. Me and Joe are really interested in it. It's great for boxing. It's great all round. And yeah, if any of the fans, if you're looking forward to getting it, like me and Joe said, we're going to have some good old battles on there. We'll get all the fans involved. Maybe get something to do with pep talk in the future. We'll see what Pro Beez, if he thinks it's a great idea, and it's something to look forward to. A massive boxing game, and it's great for our sport, and it's great. And like I was just saying, I was just having thoughts when I was looking at their tail of the tape, Joe, and I was thinking, I just can't wait to play a boxing game with these two. Do you know what I mean? Ramirez, Taylor. It's a big thing. So Yeah, we'll talk about that in
Yeah,
the future. Oh, here he is,
definitely.
the main man.
Pro Beez joining us for the big fight itself. We're just on having the ring walks. But
Wow,
Pro, what's your opinion? Big fight tonight.
big fight. Obviously, look, it's been overshadowed by the heavyweight division. But
Mm.
if you look at these guys, they offer value for money. You know, I mean, Josh Taylor for me is fantastic on the outside, very good on the inside. Like the guy's just polished overall as a fighter. Ramirez is that Mexican bull, come forward, have a tear up, smash you to bits, and I really do think the styles are going to gel. And you've got a great undisputed fight at junior welterweight, and the fans are in store for something really magnificent tonight. So, if you've got a coffee, drink a bit of coffee. You know, do not doze off if you're in the UK, because you know with Josh Taylor as well, he likes to bring it as well. That's why I like Josh Taylor.
Definitely.
So
I don't need no
talented.
coffee. This fight is all I need to keep me up. I'm buzzing for it. What a great fight it's going to be. It's been waiting for it a long time. Look, we see some Scottish fans there, which is always nice to see, which is fantastic that there's some Scottish fandom in Vegas. And just good to see fans back as well. Obviously not the biggest of crowds, but good to see Vegas opening up.
No, 100%, 100%. You know what? There's nothing like, the Scottish fans. I've seen it with Willie Hutchinson at O2 years back, and he was just starting out at the time as a professional, and he had so many fanatical fans. At the time, I was like, wow, this guy's like, he's just turned over, and his fans are mad fanatical for him. And I think Josh Taylor was supporting Willie Hutchinson that night at the O2. And it just kind of just brings it to light that, the Scottish fans, the British fans, we really do love, there's Tyson Fury, we really do love boxing as a whole. And it's such a shame that, the British fans are not over there. But God willing, it's going to come back soon. We're going to have filled arenas and stadiums for such big fights, so.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully Josh Taylor brings those 4 belts back to the UK and we get to see a mega fight with mega fans in a massive stadium for all 4 belts, and we get an undisputed fight in the UK.
Just seeing on people's timing, if that's all right. I think Pro Beez is. I'm a little bit behind you, John. I think Pro Beez is a little bit behind me.
Yeah, I'm behind you guys. I literally. So Joe, you're gonna have to.
I can pause it.
No, let Joe can do the play-by-play, and we'll just obviously say what we're saying.
Catch up.
Yeah, and that's it. And respond to the comments and stuff like that. So, Josh Taylor looked pumped, no doubt about it. He
does.
You know what I mean? He looks proper up for it.
No, and Otto Carmen says Ramirez plants his feet like an oak tree when he swings. Loads of power. Good luck to Josh Taylor. I think he's going to need a bit of luck tonight. And just buzzing because he does plant his feet, come forward, throws so many punches. It'll be interesting to see. We just see Lee McGregor, a Chris Tuslik Congo in the audience there. And we're now ready. We're now ready for
the only thing is,
an undisputed fight.
Do you know what, boys? The only thing I would say is Josh Taylor's got to be very careful not to stay in the pocket with Ramirez. He's very good on the inside, and Josh Taylor has that ability. He can box on the outside. So why get drawn into a tear-up with a fierce, very tough Mexican? We've seen it already countless times. The Brits fall into the Mexicans. So just box smart. You've got the ability to box smart, wear him down. And then when you feel like the time is right in the latter rounds, then come inside. But he's not a guy to be played with. And the only thing I would say on Josh Taylor, magnificent fighter, he does tend to bruise up quite easily. He's got that
marks up,
Yeah, you saw that against Prograis. That eye was
definitely
crazy. I remember seeing him in the post-fight presser.
Yeah,
and literally I was like wincing. I was like, wow. You
Look
don't
at
play.
Taylor.
Look at it. Shadow
Yeah.
boxing, getting ready for the final talks with ref. This is really good. He's ready to go for war tonight.
The great ref.
This
Is it that Kenny
tornado.
Bayless?
Kenny Bayless tonight. Kenny
Kenny
Bayless
Bayless,
tonight,
legendary.
legendary referee, and obviously very rarely you have any problems with Kenny Bayless. Respect shown there, obviously, but wasn't needle throughout the week, but then in the last couple of days, as Josh Taylor does, he likes to fire himself up in the last few days,
Yeah.
in the weigh-in and the press conference, and we're seconds away from it now. We are seconds away from the undisputed light welterweight title fight.
Got me pen ready to do a bit of scoring. So here we go. Round one's begun.
Here we go, round one.
All right.
Meeting in the centre of the ring at the start.
Ramirez,
Taking him with the jab.
he looks like a young version of Manny Rubles as well.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. I like that one, Pro.
All right, as they say in Mexico, arriba. Let's get on.
Arriba! Let's go. Josh
All right.
Taylor coming in with a little body shot, coming in out of range there, but just holding that leading right hand at the start, just missing with a left hand. Josh Taylor there.
Yeah, he took the centre of the ring pretty well.
Yeah, we're already seeing what Ramirez is about. Come forward fighter, looking to walk down Josh Taylor. You look at Josh Taylor, like his lateral movement is so good. You know what I mean? He's got that swagger about him in the ring. Just kind of get in and out of range of ease. Very talented fighter.
I think Taylor needs to work off the jab tonight. You've seen it already.
Yeah,
early
he's
on.
starting to do it. Moving around the ring, slipping a punch there from Ramirez, and Josh Taylor comes forward, landing a nice left to the body.
Obviously, with that southpaw as well with Taylor, it's difficult for Ramirez. But like Pro B says, you can see what Ramirez is all about. Straight in the middle, planting his feet. But Taylor looks well here.
He does, popping out that jab quite often, point winning, really. But here we go. Ramirez pushes Taylor back onto the ropes, lands a couple of shots there, but Taylor's very quick to turn him to get out of the danger zone. But Josh Taylor then comes back with a nice little 1-2, now leaning on Ramirez there. But Ramirez plants a body shot. Some work being executed by Ramirez on the inside there, but Bayless breaks them up. Back to the fighting. Yeah,
you can see what Ramirez is doing as well. He's trying to slow down Josh Taylor by going to the body early doors. You can see that, innit? That's what you do with the movers. You saw that with Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders. Slow these guys down so you can try and, finish them off later.
And it looks to me that there's a slight bit of marking over Josh Taylor's eye already. I might be wrong there.
You see what I was saying?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
He's like a Ricky Hatton type fighter. Ricky Hatton had them issues, didn't he? You'd always worry about a cut or
body shot landed there by Josh Taylor.
And at 147, Keith Thurman's got the same issues.
Yes.
It just marks up real quick. These guys can fight, but on a technical aspect that can play into the fight and you can get stopped. You know what I mean? So that's why I think with these guys, they've got to be careful and not get involved in the tear up, because
end of the first round.
Who did you give that round, guys?
Jay?
I'll give that one a Taylor round, just on the cleaner punches. I thought that Ramirez come in pretty strong late to the end of that round. I thought maybe the last minute and after minute, Ramirez looked a lot better. Got Taylor with a couple of nice shots, but I thought for the majority of it, I thought Taylor was controlling it. He was dictating the pace of that round. So I'd say Taylor nicked that first round.
Yeah.
But open to interpretation there.
I agree. It could have gone either way, but yeah, I think clean work, landed a nice couple of jabs, time to the body. But we did see, although I give it to Josh Taylor, we did see Ramirez coming forward, backed up Josh Taylor onto the ropes once, and I think that's what he wants to do, planting his feet, kind of trap him on that ropes into a corner and trying to punish Josh Taylor and trying to just corner off the ring, so he's got nowhere to go, so he can enforce the entourage of punches that he loves doing so much. But we're into the
It could have been
second
an
round
even
now.
round. I could have given it even, but I was just thinking there. Even on the replay, I saw Ramirez hit a couple of good shots, but he also missed with a few. I just went on the scoring shots in that round, and Taylor's come out in the second round pretty fast as well.
Josh Taylor backed him up there. He backed up Ramirez with a nice double jab, 1-2, but good left hand straight down the middle, landed by Josh Taylor, and he likes using that shot. Missed with it that time, but so finding success with that shot early on, just using his feint there, just touching in there, trying to get that straight left hand.
Just use the range. That's all he's got to do.
Jarvis Bickle gave the first round to the Jaguar, Ramirez. Interesting. Okay. It's a pick 'em round, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
1-2 just landed from Ramirez there a couple of seconds ago. Just kind of slightly pushed Taylor back into the corner, but he moves to the right, moves out, and now back trying to fight at range.
Oh,
landing a jab.
You know, Ramirez's accuracy it's actually getting better. You know, as the fight goes on.
I said at the end of the round he was growing into it.
Yeah, he's finding a bit of range.
Taylor can't let him grow into the fight though. He can't let him try and work him down. Body shot landed there on the inside, coming out. Now trying to get back to the jab, Josh Taylor, trying to box smart, but a lot has been made up in the build-up of that he will get drawn into a fight at some point, and it's interesting. It's an interesting point to see.
Yeah, he's a crazy Scotsman, Joe.
He's a crazy Scotsman. Yeah,
he'll have them skills, but as soon as if something gives him that red mist, as we've seen with Taylor before, it then turns into a war. So he's got to stay level-headed. Like if he pops a jab out and moves in and out, it could be a nice fight for Taylor, but he's going to get caught into a fight, and they're fighting in close here.
Yeah, good straight right hand landed now. Good double jab landed by Ramirez. Ramirez having some success in the final 40 seconds of round 2. Good body shot landed by Ramirez. Ramirez trying to use that pressure, but good counter to the body. Oh, now a lovely 1-2 by Ramirez. Josh Taylor's getting brought into the fight. Josh Taylor's getting brought into the fight in the second round. This is exciting already. Get back to your boxing, Josh. Wow.
Keep it long.
Back to long. You realise that.
You see what I mean? This inside war. I wouldn't advise it. But...
Yeah. Good left hand coming out of the thing. Oh, good clean jab landed. Just a little nod of recognition to each other at the end of the second round. And Jay, another close round to score, my friend.
Yeah, I wish I didn't choose tonight to start scoring, because that was a tough round. I had Ramirez winning, and then the last minute, I thought Taylor come on with some great scoring shots there. So they're competitive rounds, but I'm going to go Ramirez that round. I thought Ramirez done well for the first 2 minutes, so I'm going to give it to Ramirez that round.
Okay.
Bro, do you agree with that one?
Just the eye-catching work for me was Ramirez. I mean, some of that body work had some mean intentions, that he delivered on Taylor. But you'll see in the replay, Taylor landed a beautiful 1-2 combination right down the pipe, which was clean, lovely. Such an elegant fight. I know, look, people are going to say, look, calm down, But Taylor, for me, I love the technicians in the sport.
So do I.
Just put their hands together, move in and out of range, and make things look effortless. And that's exactly what
body movement
Taylor does, But Ramirez, yes, for the second round, I would agree with that.
In the third round now, met in the centre of the ring once again. Good jab landed by Ramirez. Another one missed. Ramirez coming forward, trying to back up Josh Taylor onto the ropes. Coming in close now. Kenny Bayless looking to step in. No,
I'm worried Kenny Bayless might take a left hook. He's getting in quite close.
Looking that way, getting quite close. Good double jab, trying to get your jab off, moving out of range. Good upper body movement, just trying to be elusive, Josh Taylor, and that is what many people think will win in the round. A big left hand landed by Ramirez here. and Ramirez is coming forward.
Ramirez
body
is
shot
looking
by
strong here.
Ramirez very strong, going upstairs and downstairs, body shot, little left hook. Oh wow, uppercut now.
Oh,
Could Josh Taylor be hurt in the third round?
Oh,
Holding on. Can he get back to his boxing?
beautiful stuff here by Ramirez. Beautiful.
Yeah, really,
Pressure
really
fighting.
clever.
he's a very good
pressure
inside
fighting.
fighter. And
Accurate.
this is what,
good straight right hand by Ramirez. Josh Taylor holding on again.
and that's what he did to Maurice Hooker. If you remember that big shock at the time, everyone was saying Maurice Hooker is the guy. And Ramirez took him out, and he took him out by going to the body.
Oh, but good left hand landed by Taylor there, coming back. Just good uppercut landed by Taylor.
Straight left
good
there.
Straight left hand by Josh Taylor, sticking one in the back. This is what we love to see in round 3. Fantastic fight already. Oh, Mrs.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh
man.
wow.
This is boxing. This is boxing.
Plants a body shot. Plants a body shot there, Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor obviously took quite a bit of punishment at the early stages, but now Ramirez
comes back.
Ramirez comes back. Beautiful uppercut into the body. This is great fight. Just pushing, using that brute strength, but Josh Taylor trying to get out of the way. It's like two mindsets of Josh Taylor. Does he come inside? Does he use that Scott Hart mentality, or does he box at range? Use that slick boxing style, which we all know he's got. It's so interesting.
Oh, big left by Ramirez.
Left by Ramirez, lands flush, just dropped his hands there, Josh Taylor, and that hurt.
Oh, Ramirez coming on strong.
Ramirez coming forward, landed. Josh Taylor's trying to hold on.
Wow.
10 seconds left of round 3. This is a big round for Ramirez. Oh, wow.
Wow.
You see, we know
that was
the game
a great round for.
Yeah,
what a fantastic. Take my money. Jesus Christ. Wow, Jay, how'd you score that, mate?
Wow. Gut reaction saying that's an even round. Both guys give it, but I'm going to give it to Ramirez. No, just for the first minute and a half, I thought Ramirez. The thing with Taylor is he's good in bursts. I feel for 30 seconds to 45, he looks good. So it kind of sometimes clouds your opinion. But I'm going to give it to Ramirez. I'm going to be neutral. I'm going to be fair. And I thought Ramirez won two minutes of the 3 there. So I'll give that to Ramirez. But it was a great round for boxing. Great round. And this fight is now lighting up.
Fire.
There's one of them body shots, right, that Ramirez caught. It was literally right on the upper abdomen of Josh Taylor. Yeah, it wobbled him. You can see it, guys, in the replay.
Tough Josh Taylor.
Yeah.
Tough Josh Taylor. Round 4 now.
Jeez, and Ramirez is good at going to the head and body. I'm noticing he's going head and body with his shots.
Good combination.
Nice jab landed there by Josh Taylor early on, just at mid-range there. Just trying to move into the left there, just trying to avoid the shot just coming inside by Ramirez. Ramirez just trying to work his way in, up and down, just slowly trying to break down Josh Taylor like he found success with in round 3. But it's a slower start to the 4th round here. But good shot.
I'd like to see
landed.
Taylor throw an uppercut. I think Ramirez could be susceptible for an uppercut. He's got great defense though, Ramirez, very tight.
Yeah.
Oh, he went for the uppercut there, Taylor. So
go for the uppercut, but close range. Looks like Ramirez is having success.
What do you guys think? Do you feel like Josh Taylor's hurting Ramirez?
No, not at the moment.
Not at the minute.
Oh, big shots by Ramirez.
Ramirez plots into the body, gets him back. Josh Taylor trying to stick a little uppercut in at close range, but coming back to the 1-2. It's that heavy pressure, just an accumulation of punches. Big right hand just landed there. Flush again by Ramirez. Josh Taylor, wow. Oh, good coming in and out of range, landing a 1-2 by Josh Taylor. Holding on now, Taylor. This is shaping up to be an absolutely fantastic fight.
Yeah. Ben Davidson's got to get a hold of Josh Taylor at the end of the round and say, look, stick to your boxing, keep it long. This guy is very strong on the inside.
Yeah.
You need to take the wind out of his sails a bit.
Oh, good body shot landing by Josh Taylor.
Oh, big shot by
wow.
Taylor. Ramirez turned his back.
Ooh.
Wow, that is very interesting. Kenny Bayless looking very sharpish, but now they're coming in for a fight at close range in the centre of the ring. But wow, yeah, Kenny Bayless has pushed them back. Obviously,
Taylor needs to watch out because this could be a fight that could be determined on points. And Taylor's holding the head down quite a lot.
Yeah, but as he slipped down there, counter body shot by Josh Taylor. Good, another great body shot by Josh Taylor.
And another one.
Coming in.
And another one.
And another one.
Right.
Wow.
Would you say he's found the key? Would you say he's found the key?
He just unleashed 3 body shots.
On the ropes. Wow. Back and forth action. Good uppercut by Ramirez. This is a combination. But now Josh Taylor's throwing. This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Good 1-2 landed by Josh Taylor.
Do you know what? The strategy from Josh Taylor, I think he's unlocked it, you know. If you go body, I'm going body too.
Yeah.
He's unlocked it.
Do you think he's got the mentality, pro? Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, no, I think he's found the kryptonite for Ramirez. It's the body, not the head.
You got to slow him down, pressure fighter. That's the way to stop him.
As soon as he starts dipping his knees and throwing them body shots in, the game changed.
Yeah. Jay, who'd you give that round to?
I've gone an even round for that. I thought Ramirez started well for a minute and a half, but then Taylor come with 3 straight body shots, sunk him in, some good shots. I'm going 10-10 for that one. Might be controversial. Yeah, but I thought it was a scrap, so it was. They both give as good as they got, and like Pro B said there, I think Taylor with them body shots, there were some really good scoring shots there, but mate, this is a great fight. This is a great, world-class fighters, undisputed. Well, I'm becoming more of a fan of Ramirez here as well, as a fan anyway, but he's showing me some good stuff. Yeah,
definitely. But you know what?
Like, Taylor.
Ben Davison in the corner, right? For me, if I'm in the corner, what I saw from like the highlight is when Ramirez throws his jab, dip your knees, throw the body shot in. That is a big key towards stopping this Mexican bull.
You know, another body shot landing early from Josh Taylor, but then Ramirez lands a good left hook. So it's back and forth action once again. Obviously, probably not the accumulation of punches in the mid parts of round 4, but we're in round 5 now. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left of it, and pace. It looks like they're just stepping off of it.
Oh. The thing with Taylor, he doesn't want a close points decision because I think if it goes to the judges, it will go to Ramirez.
Yes,
being in America, I don't want to say anything controversial. I'm just my opinion. So I think Taylor needs to step up round 5, 6, and 7 and try and put a stamp on this fight.
It's just so strong, isn't it, Ramirez? It's just like, do you know what? I suppose the glimmer of hope was when he turned his back.
Oh, good body shot.
I agree with that, Pro.
Bit of a slow around this, but good double jab landing by Josh Taylor.
Can you see that, like, his left eye, as you were saying earlier, the swelling is getting a little bit worse now as well.
Yeah.
Have a look.
Bit of blood trickling down.
Yeah. The trenches.
And obviously we saw Billy Joe Saunders, that eye injury. We spoke before the fight, like I was saying, like anything can happen in a fight. Like you can get a cut, you can get an injury. So we saw Billy Joe Saunders and he had Ben in his corner. If that eye gets seriously damaged, will it be a concern for Taylor in his corner?
Exactly.
Working well. And, fantastic left hand landed by Josh Taylor, and he follows it up with a looping right hand. Josh Taylor, Ramirez trying to bring him into the inside. 1-2 hits his gloves. Looking good. Looking really good.
But you know what? Like, you mentioned,
body
like,
shots.
Jay, right? The Canelo fight, Billy Joe Saunders. Canelo is a master, right, of making you feel like you're getting success, but he's lining you up to do something. You see what I mean? Like, he did that with Amir Khan as well. Amir Khan was growing like strong into the fight and was getting involved in the inside sort of war. And then Counterpunch Boxing News, Kurt DeVille in the building, my guy. Counterpunch. What's up, Kurt? Watching the fight, yeah? Out in the States.
Yeah.
Kurt DeVille. He's in Dallas. All right. Well,
Josh
yeah.
Taylor coming in, 1-2 landing. Oh, just head to head. Phone box stuff, end of that round. Josh Taylor puts his hand up as if to say he's won that round. Jay, do you agree?
Yeah, I'll give that one to Taylor there. It was probably out of all the rounds so far, the least entertaining. Looked like both guys stepped off the pace a little bit, try and compose himself after them crazy early rounds. And I thought Taylor hit the most scoring shots there, most effective. So, yeah, I've gone for a Taylor 10-9 there.
Guys, let us know what you think in the comments.
Smash that like button, guys.
Which you can see as well with, obviously, like I said, when the pace dropped then, it's because Ramirez's pace dropped as well. So I think for Ramirez, up the pace again this round. That was good for him. Keep charging Taylor down. And for Taylor, I'd go for the double, triple jabs. Look for the left underhook to the body, or maybe I'd go for an uppercut if I was Taylor. Try and slow Ramirez down in some way. But yeah, the pace dropped in that last round, but hopefully it kicks off again now in round 6.
Definitely. Just kicking off the action. Round 6 now of the undisputed junior welterweight title fight.
He's dropped him! Big left hand by Taylor! Big left! What a shot! He's rocked! Ramirez is still rocked. He does not look steady on his feet.
Taylor, man. Wow.
What a shot! Take him out, Taylor, if you want now. This is your opportunity.
It's big. Does he overcommit and get hit himself here and get caught?
He's got to go for it. Ramirez looked very shaky getting back up.
And that's what I was saying, guys. When he throws his lead hook, his lead hand, dip your knees and then throw your shot in. And he did that.
But
Ramirez knocks Taylor with a big left.
Downstairs, whipping him into the body. This is phenomenal fight here. Back and forth action. We've just seen Ramirez be knocked down, but Ramirez is coming back in round 6. Still 2 minutes to go.
Wow.
Just slowing down a bit here. I'm not surprised the pace they set at the start of that round. Very eventful. Very, very eventful.
I told you they calmed down in round 5 to go crazy in round 6, and we wasn't wrong.
The calm before the storm.
Big right by Ramirez. Taylor's got a chin like Iron Man.
Wow, that is unbelievable.
That is true Scottish grip there.
Right hand landing on the chest of Josh Taylor by Ramirez. Ramirez coming on strong now. Maybe that's the awakening Ramirez needed. He may have took that round 5 off but lovely uppercut coming in from Josh Taylor and a left hook in close range coming in and out, holding on. Kenny Bayless looks to break him up here. Wow. Can you tell what?
This might not go the full distance,
No.
Yeah, this is crazy. I can't see him keeping up this pace for another 6 rounds. It would be absolutely unbelievable. Just what a display. What a display between 2 absolutely fantastic boxers and 2 fantastic unified world champions.
It's unbelievable stuff here. This is what we wanted as boxing. Big left again by Taylor.
It's his knees there. Just looks like he lost his legs slightly.
That's the key, right? He's found it, innit? Once he throws his jab, dip your knees and then fire away. He's found the key.
Uppercut sinks in there.
Thinking uppercut. Didn't look like it landed very cleanly. But now 2 uppercuts and a little left hook coming in from Ramirez. Fighting at close range body shots. That looked like it hurt Josh Taylor.
That hook though, you know that hook when he dipped his knees, Josh Taylor, sweet. Yeah. Sweet, man.
That's what I want him to do. I want him to hit a flush uppercut like that. Big left again.
Big left hand. Big left hand. Wow. He just dropped his lead hand there, Ramirez, and got caught by a big straight left hand. And that seems to be finding success because it did put Ramirez down in the start of that round 6. And Ramirez does not look happy. Jay, is it a 10-8 round, my friend?
That's a 10-8 round for me. Yeah, 100%. Ramirez did come back with some good scoring shots. Maybe some might give it a 10-9, but at the end there, Taylor buckled his legs. He nearly went over again, and yeah, I'd give that to Taylor 10-8.
Bro, what are we witnessing here? We're watching a fantastic fight.
Yeah, I want a second fight already.
Don't get me excited.
Honestly.
We've still got 6 rounds to go of this. Maximum.
And we've already called the rematch as well, Beez. Where's he going to... That'd be a great fight against either guy.
That's it. That's it. Obviously, when he finishes his business on Triller, you know, the winner of this fight awaits him, you know, potentially. And Prograis Taylor too. Could you imagine that? At the O2,
Oh, fire.
when the country's reopening, right? And
In
fans are
Scotland.
allowed back in.
Oh, I'll be at that one, definitely. Round 7 now.
That was a well, very good round for Josh Taylor.
Great round.
Ramirez,
Bit of a looping jab opening there, but now going with a more straight. Looks first to the punch as well, beat Ramirez to the punch, but Ramirez comes in to try and plant a right body shot there, straight right body shot. But Taylor's on his toes there, quite light on his feet at the start of round 7.
Ramirez is definitely slowing down, mate.
Yeah,
definitely.
He's eating them straight lefts now.
Yeah. He's slowed down. You know, before he was like light on his feet, on the balls of his feet. He's a little bit more flat-footed now, and you can see he's giving it what he can, but you can see he's been hurt. He's definitely been hurt. Yeah,
Taylor looks confident now.
Beautiful display, light on his feet, double jab, using a bit of flair, bit of that boxing flair. Great left hand landed again by Josh Taylor. Oh, great straight right left hand. This is great. Oh, dipped inside and just countered there, Josh Taylor. Fantastic display here.
Right, and you look. This is what we were saying. Like Josh Taylor, like he really knows, you know, how to technically move about the ring. Look at that. The feints is there.
Oh, great uppercut landed by Josh Taylor, and I think Ramirez was holding on there. Good jab though by Ramirez coming back.
And Taylor's a sort of fighter. If you're not a fan beforehand, you'll be a fan after. So the Ramirez fans that haven't really seen Josh Taylor probably wouldn't give him much credit before this, but after they'll be like, yeah, we know who Josh Taylor is and he's a good fighter. So
1-2 just landed by Ramirez there, then a sharp one to the body, but then Josh Taylor just snapping Ramirez's head back with a lovely crisp jab.
Do you know what's funny? I see small signs. I don't know. You might laugh at it. Of Michael McKinson. He's got a little bit of Josh Taylor in him. He's got a little bit of that in him.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's his awkward style, like you say. His hands down. The way he moves his head in and out. Yeah, he dips down like him.
Yep.
Oh, that he looked for the power.
Oh, big uppercut! He drops Ramirez with a big uppercut. I told you an uppercut, and he looks proper rocked.
Beautifully.
He's going.
Big box in the last 30 seconds of round 7. This is massive.
His legs are gone.
Could we see the undisputed?
His legs are gone.
Could we see the undisputed? Kenny Bayless is taking a look at him now. Will it go on?
That may have saved him there. That may have saved him them extra 5 seconds.
Oh wow!
Sweet,
oh wow!
Oh!
They're engaging blows. He's going out on his shield. Wow! Oh no!
What a round!
Wow! All right, look.
Taylor's got this now. Taylor's done. His soul's gone.
2 10-8 rounds in a row. 2 knockdowns in a row in 2 rounds for Josh Taylor.
On my scorecard,
this is unbelievable.
So before the last round, I had Taylor. I had it 2-2 on points, and now after them last 2 rounds, I've got Taylor 6-2 up.
Right. Well, do you know what it is? Like, I'm not being funny. Like, do you know when you put the food in the oven, mate, and it's getting ready to be served, you know, to the guests at the table? I'm telling you, mate.
I've just seen that uppercut again. Sorry, bro. I've just seen it again. What a beautiful uppercut.
I tell you what, Ben Davison in the corner has got to say, look, he's ready to go now. He's ready to go. Let's not waste time.
Oh, I called that uppercut since round 2.
Yeah. You saw that he was having joy with that.
Yeah, it's a shot. I think any come forward fighter, the uppercut's probably one of the best shots to hit him with. AJ does it beautifully.
Yeah, and this is why. And the thing is, you see with like Josh Taylor, when he throws it, it's so technically profound. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't look awkward. It's just there. It's there. The shot selection is there.
Round 8 now.
He's got a bit too much for Ramirez. He's got a bit too much for Ramirez.
Oh well, good left hooks coming in by Josh Taylor.
He's took the the fight out of Ramirez.
Body shot pushes Ramirez to
I'm
the
just trying to
ropes,
imagine.
into the ropes.
I'm just trying to imagine Andy McCarthy from IFL jumping up and down.
Yeah.
I like Andy McCarty is a good guy. Like,
Good guy.
Oh, he's
proper
amazing.
on it. Yeah, he'll be proper on it. Like, he'll be jumping up and down for Josh Taylor.
Will he be in the ring after if he gets the win here? Oh, look, just bending there. Look, just pushing now. At the start, where we see Ramirez was the aggressor pushing Taylor, trying to on the ropes. Now the tables have turned, and Josh Taylor's finding more success than Ramirez ever did in the early rounds.
Exactly.
Just telling.
Oh, big right.
Big left to the body by Ramirez, but then Josh Taylor counters it with a big right looping hand that lands perfectly on Ramirez's chin.
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Josh Taylor, mate. He's a hell of a fight, man. He's a hell.
Yeah, like I said, if he wins this, he's my number 3 pound for pound.
Yeah. It's just got the lot for me. It's just got the lot for me. I've been a fan of Josh Taylor for a while. It's just got a lot for me.
Right, yeah.
It's just got the lot.
Oh, good shot landed by Ramirez, though.
It reminds me of not the style they fight, but the way his fights are of Cole Froch, where he's got a solid chin and he's in walls.
Big left hand landing by Josh Taylor again.
The thing that he's got over Froch is his movement around the ring is sharper. To be fair.
Like, what I meant in that I meant just in the fact that that he's vulnerable in a bit where he does take a lot of shots, but he just doesn't go down. So like his chin's just unbelievable. It's like a Cole Froch chin. It's just solid.
So we could almost say that.
Oh, big body shot landed by Ramirez.
At junior welterweight, right? Maybe he could be a bit too strong for the guys at junior welterweight. You know?
147 would be good. I want to see him versus Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford is a madman.
Big fight.
Crawford is an absolute psychopath, man, in the ring.
Oh, great uppercut landed by Josh Taylor. And it's back and forth action because Ramirez is landing big shots now, and Josh Taylor's having to hold on in the last stage.
Yeah, he looks tired.
This round, this is interesting stuff here because Ramirez is coming on strong at the end of this round, and Josh Taylor going, come on, that Scottish blood is urging him on, got his hand up there. Well, is it important to remain focused here, Pro? Is it important to just stick to the game plan? Standing up in the corner.
It sure is. You know, Josh Taylor knows that he can hurt Ramirez. He's done it. He's put him down twice. He knows he's got the better of him if he just stays concentrated, focused on the job at hand and not get complacent, yeah? We've seen that with fighters, you know? They're looking sensational and then it just takes one shot and then everything's, gone pear-shaped. So Ben Davis has got to say to him, look, you know you can hurt him. Just stick behind the jab, pick your moments, be smart, right? Look at Tyson Fury, he's loving it. And then you'll get the result. 2 knockdowns.
Just before we head into that round 9, Jay, how did you score round 8?
Probably a bit more controversial. I thought it was a bit more even that round. I've gone even just on the fact that I thought the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, I thought Taylor slowed a little bit. He won the first minute, but look, Ramirez is a great fighter. I don't want to discredit him too much. So yeah, I've gone even for that round, but people will be open to their opinions.
The argument for Ramirez there in that round as well, I believe. It was a good round. Oh, a good shot landing from Ramirez early. Little close left hook at close range. But again,
I'm worried Taylor had his opportunity to get him out. I think that if he gets a second win, Ramirez, he could see it to the final bell.
Yeah. And that's always the case in big fights, you know. If you don't take your moment sometimes, you could pay for it.
Especially after the second knockdown, I thought Ramirez looked really, really unwobbly. And I think the ref gave him an extra 10 seconds there when he said, come back. I thought he let Ramirez off the hook a little bit. But it's always a worry when you knock someone down with the last 20 seconds if you've got enough time or not. That's why David Haye was my favourite fighter. When he had someone hurt, killer instinct was unreal.
Just on the ropes, holding on now. Kenny Bayless breaking them up. 1 minute 50 left of round 9. Good shots landing from Ramirez just as Josh Taylor was trying to come out of range there. Didn't land too heavy. Josh Taylor just trying to get behind his jab, using a bit of boxing skill. Just sizing it up, but good jab landed by Ramirez. Another good jab, stiff jabs. But good body shot, but now a lovely uppercut landed by Ramirez into a 1-2. This good solid work from Ramirez, this. But a lovely jab. A lovely jab into a beautiful body shot by Josh Taylor coming back from that.
Guys,
good
remember,
looping left hand.
Smash that like button. Live ringside, watch along. Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez. Got J. Alby in the building. Joe P. Pro B. It's a party once more.
It is.
Great fight. Great
An undisputed party.
The undisputed party. I like that, Jay. I like that a lot, mate.
It's that type of party where you've got the Hennessy, you've got the AU vodka.
The
AU. You got it all on one table. The Magnums, it's all on one table,
Yeah, definitely. And then we've got the centerpiece, which is Taylor versus Ramirez. Is that beautiful?
Fight.
Do you know what? This is the times where I wish Jim Watt was commentating on this fight.
I
used to love Jim Watt. Yeah, bang on the chin.
Oh, good work for Ramirez there, though. Josh Taylor holding on. Final seconds of the round. Good shots landing from Ramirez. Ramirez could be finding a second win there, but just at the end of that round, Taylor comes in with an uppercut. But much better round for Ramirez. Jay, how'd you score that one?
I've scored that a 10-9 Ramirez round that one. I thought he'd come on a lot better.
Yep.
I thought the cleaner work. I think he's got a bit of a second winded. The thing with Ramirez is I don't think he's got the power to startle Taylor. Maybe later in the rounds, if Taylor gets tired, them shots might affect him. But just seeing how the fight's gone so far, I don't think Taylor's too worried about his power. But relentless work rate in that round, I thought Ramirez come on forward very well. And yeah, it's a hard fight to score. It's very competitive, which you want at this level. So yeah, I'm not really confident in how my scoring's going, but like I say, it's open to opinion, and I'd give that one to Ramirez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Look, Alby says Ramirez winning a lot of rounds, but those two knockdowns could make a lot of difference. Good, solid right hand landing from Ramirez early on in the 10th round, going into the championship rounds. Like some fantastic show, fantastic display from both fighters tonight. Oh wow, that was slick, that was sharp. You think that was coming out for round one from Ramirez there. Maybe you were right, Jay. Maybe finding a second wind.
Well, Ramirez has got to go for it now. Look, he's been knocked down twice. This is the undisputed. This is not just a world title fight. This is for them, all of it.
The 1-2 speed there from Josh Taylor was remarkable.
And I think Ramirez just has to throw the kitchen sink at him now. Just chuck it all at him because it's still or die, really. Yeah.
And he's that type of boxer that will do that. He's that type of fighter that will bring it all. He leaves everything in the ring, and that's why we love both of these fighters here tonight. And that's why they are both unified champions. Just trying to get his distance off there, but coming on to the jab,
very flat-footed though, Ramirez.
Taylor.
I think what Ramirez needs to do is maybe come in with a double or triple jab to get close to Taylor. He's coming in with single jabs, and Taylor's able to read him very easily.
And what he's got to do as well, you can see, like I'm watching the feet as well. He's keeping his lead foot outside of Taylor's front foot, to try and trap him in. A master at that, for me, two masters is Canelo and Triple G. They do that so well. They cut the ring off so well. But Ramirez doesn't quite have the footwork to pin in Josh Taylor.
All the one-punch power of Triple G and Canelo.
Coming in straight away. Fantastic punch from Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor coming on now. That was lovely. Showing really good speed. Coming in for some uppercuts. Fantastic kind of a stiff left hand from Ramirez. Body shots coming in. Just holding in there. Kenny Bayless breaks him up. Oh, good body shot from Ramirez, which led to two fantastic shots, a hook into an uppercut from Josh Taylor.
All right.
Oh, good one too. Good one too for Ramirez, leading Josh Taylor to hold on now.
Why was Josh Taylor ducking down like that?
Moving about, yeah. Why is he dropping his hands? He needs.
Big left by Taylor.
Fantastic hook there. Fantastic.
And that's why he was ducking his head like that, because he was
leaning on. So clever. He's got his hand up there. Yeah, and after he scored that shot, he put his hand up, proper amateur old style of point scoring there. But I love it. I absolutely love it. Shows the passion.
All right,
Jay, close round again. But who you edged that one to?
I've give that one to Taylor. Taylor edged that one for me, 10-9. Good competitive round at the beginning by Ramirez, but I thought the last 2 minutes, first minute was close, but the 2 minutes after that, I thought Taylor dominated really in the fact that he wasn't letting Ramirez get close to him. He's got the distance. If he just dances on the outside, it's quite a good evening for him. But he's got a few wounds. But I think he's going to see this out for a points win, people.
You know, what's so impressive about Taylor, I know people are going to be like, oh, yeah, shut up about Taylor. But, it's the way he sets up his shots, His hands are low.
Oh, you said it there when your hands were low.
His hands are low, yeah. But what he's doing is he's trying to lure you in, and then he's looking to put together a combination, And because he's that type of...
But that spite as well. The spite on the end of that last punch.
Coming out for the 11th round, the penultimate round in this fantastic fight, and that Ramirez early on landing some stiff jabs on the chin of Josh Taylor.
This is a good wee fight, I got to say, man.
Definitely.
Good wee fight.
Good wee fight, yeah. Taylor's definitely had his iron brew tonight. He's on form.
Yeah, I was gonna drink some tonight. I was gonna bring someone to the live, but I stuck with the old soda water in the end.
You might have some haggis soup after.
Yeah, Joe was going to come in with his Scottish hat and then ginger wigs. Do you know them ones that you can wear? And his iron brew.
I'll try and do that for the next live if he wins. I'll say that now.
But also, you guys met O'Hara Davis. It doesn't look too bad for OD now, does it? Losing to Josh Taylor. I thought that at the time.
Yes.
It could be an all-time great Josh Taylor here. So,
well, there you go. To be fair, going into that fight with O'Hara Davis, there were people saying, yeah, this kid, Josh Taylor, is really, really good. Really good. Good amateur pedigree. And some people said it's going to be a tough fight for OD. But then, he took his chance, Josh Taylor, in that fight, and he hasn't looked back since.
Exactly.
Fantastic exchange there from Josh Taylor. It's just the exchange, but it just looked like Josh Taylor got the better of each punch being thrown, just matching Ramirez to everything, making him miss, making him pay on the inside, something he wasn't able to do early on in the fight. Potentially looking the fresher fighter, potentially looking the more classier fighter.
Yeah.
Good shot by Ramirez.
Good shot Ramirez. Just take Josh Taylor off balance.
Credit Ramirez.
How high do you think Taylor could go in weight? Do you think 147 is his maximum?
147. You can see he's okay. The result of this fight will tell you whether he's too good for 140. But it is strong and it can dominate 140 easily, right? That's if he gets through this fight.
Taylor's hurt.
Oh, Taylor is hurt. He's on the ropes now.
Yeah, you see what I mean? Fight management.
But that's the thing. Ramirez will keep coming forward. He's got around 3 minutes and 20 seconds over the last two rounds now to do him. Oh wow! And he's going for it now. Leading Josh Taylor to hold on now because he was coming in with whipping close range hooks.
And when it's like that, you don't know. Sometimes you don't know what the judges are thinking. Would you say that, Joe? And Jay, it looks convincing for them, in terms of scoring the round for Ramirez.
I have actually gone Ramirez that round as well.
You see what I mean?
I thought Taylor looked a bit tired, a bit not as clean in his work, and I thought Ramirez looked there, a couple of double jabs, Like, I think with Ramirez,
I've got a funny feeling
if he had double jump,
you know? Yeah, I've got a funny feeling.
You got what was that? Sorry, Pro.
I've got a funny feeling this might head towards a draw. I've got a funny feeling. I don't know why. Something's telling me it might head towards that.
I've got those vibes because we have
Yes.
to see the judges. There's 2 10-8 rounds in there.
Mhm.
I've got it
I wanna say
7-4 to Taylor at the moment. So
There's another
7-4, yeah?
there's
Okay.
another very high profile fight which had 2 10-8 rounds in and was a draw between
Yes.
Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
The first fight in LA.
Which Pro B's called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw that there.
Yeah.
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 So
Did you put a bet on that, Pro B's?
No, I'm not really a betting man.
Oh.
I'm not really a betting man. I don't have that luck, you know.
You're the same as me. You can predict it when you don't put any money on, but as soon as the money goes down, it goes out the window.
We're all in the same boat here, Jay. We're all with that, definitely. Makes the 12th and final round. Taylor versus Ramirez. What a great fight.
It's been questionable in boxing since that fight anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So betting on fights now would be even worse, right, at the moment.
Well,
so
I was telling Joe, I listened to Teddy Atlas, and he said if this goes to points where they're both top ranked, be careful what the judges would want, because it'll go down to whoever Bob Arum wants to push forward the most. He
great
said.
Body shot by Josh Taylor.
Well, look, people are going to want to see this fight again. You know,
100%.
You know,
100%.
so
I want to see the loser fight Prograis.
I think the winner's got to fight Jack Catterall. That's already been agreed. And then
imagine that Taylor versus Catterall, and then the undercard Ramirez versus Prograis for #1 contender.
Yeah, I think Prograis is happy with that Triller money at the moment.
Oh, big right hand landing by Ramirez here in the final round. We're going into the final half of the final round of an absolutely fantastic, epic fight. A fight.
If I was Ramirez, give it everything now. This is your last chance.
Look, Josh Day's got both hands. Come on, he's saying.
Nice.
Great one, too. Pushes Ramirez back. Still got it.
Ramirez needs a Cole Frotch against a Cole Frotch late stoppage.
Oh, wow. Good 1-2 coming into the inside. Talking
Remember
to
against
each other
Jermaine
now.
Taylor when he fought Taylor and he got that last 12th round stoppage when he was losing. That's what Ramirez needs.
Yeah. That's what you're saying is we don't know what's going on up in Vegas. You know what I mean? But,
Final minute of the final round now. Oh, big shot landing by Ramirez. Josh Taylor just coming off ropes, just moving around. So Josh Taylor, probably by the way he's boxing, thinks he's done enough. Thinks he has done enough. But
we could be sat here and, like Pro said, the judges could have given Ramirez all the other rounds and Taylor the only ones he knocked him down in. So
yeah. But big shots from both guys there exchanging. Looks like he just wobbled Josh Taylor back now. Good 1-2.
That was a good straight.
Taking nothing away from the loser tonight. Whoever lost tonight, just like wow, L on the record, but a win for the fans. That is just unbelievable from both fighters.
Yeah.
Last 10 seconds looks like the fight's going the distance.
What I would say about Ramirez is if he had Josh Taylor's movement, it'd be the mustard.
And there we go. Both fighters with their hands.
It's a good fight at the moment.
Josh Taylor smiling. And what a fight, guys. Just while Jay's just seeing about the scores, Pro, how good was that fight?
Excellent fight. Excellent. Like I said, you know when the styles gel, that's what we had. We had the come forward fight and we had the slick star. What we saw is the slick star could actually bang also during the fight and showed how strong he is at, junior welterweight. Great fight. I mean, regardless of the result, I would love to see it again anyway. And I'm sure Bob Arum's rubbing his hands saying, okay, you know what? The boxing fans will like this. We can do it again, Yeah,
look, we got Alan Cummings saying, got to be Taylor. IB saying draw. Oh, wow. I'm nervous now. I'm very nervous, Jay.
I've just looked at my scorecards and it is close. I've got 7-5 to Ramirez and two of them were 10-8 rounds. So the only 2 rounds that I've scored that I've got Taylor winning was round 1, round 5 and round 10, which I've got him winning clearly. So like Pro B said, this is going to be a close one. Because now if you break it down, it's apart from them 2 10-8 rounds, they've been all very competitive rounds.
Yeah, definitely. I'm nervous now. I'm very, very, very nervous.
See that LB saying it's going to be a draw. Jazz, Dinshaw got Taylor 1 up. All right. LB, draw or Ramirez win. See that? They're going to give it to Ramirez. Chris Ward.
They're going to... Oh. This is... Oh, please, come on. Right, a very close draw. Davis Pickle.
Do you know what it is like? It's difficult for me to comment, but I don't know. Personally, for me, you knock a guy down twice. It should be enough, but then obviously, if you're going to be technical about it, you're going to score it round by round and add it up and say, okay, well, it doesn't matter. You know, you had 2 10-8 rounds. But overall, this is what I scored.
Here we go.
Rounds.
Here we go. Could it be a split
agree
decision?
with you. I think someone knocks the guy down twice in a close fight, then they should get it due to damage and being more effective with your shots.
Scores it.
Hold on. All right. We're waiting for the...
Whiteson. 114, 112. They both score it. Oh, I missed one. What about a unanimous decision? Winner. And now...
Taylor.
The undisputed junior welterweight champion. Yeah, Josh Taylor does it. Josh Taylor does it by undisputed, by unanimous decision. Britain has got an undisputed champion.
Wow. You know what? Like we were just saying, you knock a guy down twice in a fight, undisputed fight as well. The practicality says that guy should win the fight.
Yes.
Without being technical
what a fight! What a night!
You know. But look, for me, I had him winning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I had him winning.
It's not that he's just won the fight. It's the way he goes about his business in the fight. You know, he's so technically profound, right, to the boxing fans that, you know. He is moving up to 147, a breath of fresh air. You know, if he gets the right fights, if he grows into the weight, if he's got the punch resistance at 147, you're looking at a massive star. And you wait until the fans come back to the arenas, the Scottish fans, cheering on their undisputed champion.
Yeah, Hampden Park probably be sold out.
Yeah. Promoter's dream right now. You know,
and that Ramirez is a nice guy. Sorry, I'm just saying that he's like I've seen him outside the ring and that. Not personally, but on the TV or whatnot. People thinking, how do you see him? Ramirez, he's a lovely guy. I like to see him come back again. I'm a fan even more. But again, Pro Beez, I agree with you. Once them fans open up in Scotland, whole different animal now in Josh Taylor. It's a different ball game. And I think, like we said before the show, when you get the likes of Scotland, Wales and Ireland, and they've got one of their own where it's only one main fighter who they're all rooting for, it's a crazy, crazy fighter then because they've got a whole nation behind them. And well done to Scotland for a unified, undisputed world champion here, pound for pound. Top 3 for me. I told you if he wins this, goes to number 3. Him and Inoue are in there fighting for the 3rd spot. So, exciting times, I think, for Britain. And I think a big fight at the end of the year now. I think I'd go for Crawford. I'd bring Crawford to Scotland and I'd get my revenge for Ricky Burns. And I'd say, go on, Taylor, go for that. Because obviously it was Crawford who beat Ricky Burns for his world title, I remember, quite a few years ago. So passing the torch over from one great Scotsman to another.
Yeah, I must say, look, you know, like, I know people want him to fight Terence Crawford, right, Taylor, but, you know, I wouldn't do that straight away, you know.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Terence Crawford is special as well. It's really special.
Yeah, but I think to stay elite, you've got to keep fighting elite. I wouldn't drop down. I was saying this to Joe. Once you're undisputed, you're the top dog of your weight division. I don't like seeing undisputed champions go up and then fight a European champion or someone like that. So unless it's a top contender, if I was Josh Taylor now, it's legacy fights. After 18 fights, it's just legacy fights now. It ain't, I've got to have I've got to pick my opponents to try and get to a world title. The guys want every world title out there and a Ring Magazine title. He's done more tonight than what most fighters are going to do in their career. So I'd go for the big fights. Imagine Crawford and Taylor in Scotland at the Hampden or something, Hampden Park. I think that would be big, but I do agree in a certain way with you, Pro Beez. It might be a bit too much to throw him in, a bit too deep. But the way Taylor is in his mentality, I think he thinks he can beat any man, and I think go for it. You got to dare to be great. And who says he won't win? Crawford's coming to the end of his career. Near the end, I'd say. He's at the later stages in his 30s. It always comes at one time where the torch passes, as they say, and you never know. Give it to the end of the year. It's another year since Crawford's fought. It might be a good time for Taylor. But I said to Joe, personally, I wanted Taylor to fight Pacquiao before the fight with Spence was announced today. I said to Joe yesterday or the day before, I wanted Taylor to fight Pacquiao and then fight Crawford, because I thought that would have been a good legacy name on his record at 147. Gave him one fight at welterweight and then went for that. But obviously that fight's gone now. But I'm sure people might have some names who they'd like to see him fight at 147. Crazy.
No, definitely. I think obviously they agreed that the winner would fight Jack Catterall. So I think he will fight Jack Catterall next, I have to admit, because he agreed to step aside so he could be the first person to fight the Undisputed.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say that he agreed that, and I think they will do that. I think they'll honour that, and then I'd like to see him have one fight at 147, a top 10 guy, so still a higher level, top 10, pushing into top 5, and then I'd like to see him step in with Terence Crawford.
All right. Well, what about the angle of Teofimo Lopez, who said, "Look, I've always wanted the winner. I want to move up to 140." And they've got the same promoter, so that's an easy fight to make if he wants to stay at 140. Josh Taylor, Teofimo Lopez, tremendous fighter, also tremendous fighter. But Josh Taylor's special, man, and you can see Josh Taylor is not really a 140 guy. He's really 147. You can see it. You can see it. He's a bit too strong for those guys. But Teofimo Lopez, once that smoke with Josh Taylor, that is another huge fight. Imagine that fight in Vegas.
I'd like Lopez to fight Haney first, though, so it's undisputed versus undisputed, because there's that debate at the moment that he's not really the WBC champion. So I'd like Lopez. I'd like Lopez maybe to fight a Devin Haney by the end of this year, and then that would be a massive fight next year. Taylor versus Lopez. I do agree.
Aaron
with
said
that.
he'd want to make that as well. Aaron said he'd wanted to make that.
It's easy money for a minute. It's like Pro B says, they're on the same promotion. Easy money, easy. But yeah, I'd like to see that fight. But if he stepped up, there's some good fights out there. 147 though, Taylor would you think there are some big 147s out there, isn't there? There are some big guys.
Yeah. This is why I said
strong.
This is why I said I would build him at 147. Like, you throw him in with like Danny Garcia's and stuff like that. Build him. Don't put him straight in.
Sean Porter, is that a good fight?
Sean Porter's
a hard fight. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's a hard fight. So is that a good one where it's not a world title fight, but is that a good fight to say if you beat Sean Porter, then maybe go for a Crawford after that, or is that too tough?
I'd say Sean Porter too tough. I'd say for the first one.
Sean Porter's the type of name that if that's thrown at you in a hat, right, and you're like trying to build a fight, you're like,
keep away from that one.
Yeah.
And as I told Joe, we spoke to Joe. He beat Usyk as an amateur, so Porter's got the skills.
Yeah.
Just looking at, I'm just going to have a look at the welterweight rankings now.
Got Conor Ben. Imagine that in the next year or two.
I'm sure he's in Vegas. Conor Ben.
He is.
Yeah, he flew out. He flew out. I think Thursday. Flew out Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing out there. Look, Silver Seek there says Conor Ben versus Taylor. IB says, what about Gervonta Davis? Because Gervonta Davis has moved up, hasn't he? Because he's moving up against Barrios.
Can I throw something out there? I think the only man to beat Josh Taylor is Gervonta Davis. And I was thinking this in the 12th round tonight. And I wasn't thinking of Gervonta Davis in personally. But what I was thinking is, who can beat Taylor? And the only thing that I think could beat him is a knockout specialist, like a one-punch knockout artist. Taylor's very tough. His chin, he's got one of them chins that you can keep hitting it and it don't really weaken. So you're not going to stop him in that way. When he's hurt, he's clever. He holds when he needs to hold. You saw it tonight. When he got hurt in them few times, he held. So I think the only person that would stop him would be a one-punch knockout artist. Not very many at 140, but round about them weights, Gervonta Davis has got that one punch power. So I think he could probably cause the most damage, because I think that's the only way to stop Taylor is by cleaning them out and him not even knowing he's been knocked out. He's that sort of fighter that's tough. Is that tough? You got to knock him out to where he doesn't even know he's been knocked out. And you know Davis has that power. We saw that against Santa Cruz. So,
but can he carry it up to 140?
He's a tank. His body frame. Look at him. He might not be tall, but look at Mike Tyson. He's like a Mike Tyson in the lower weights. The guy's got. Look at no one done what he done to Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz was a great fighter, and he knocked that guy into next week. Like that was an unreal knockout. He's got a dangerous power. He's a tank.
Was that 130? Was that 130?
That was 130.
You see what I mean?
Yeah. But he is too. But I'm just saying, he could probably be the only challenge. It's someone that's going to have one punch knockout. He might not have it at 140. We'll soon see he's going up in the weights. But the only person that would beat Taylor would be a knockout specialist. So I think skill-wise, you're not going to outbox him. Toughness, you're not going to outbox him. You're literally going to have to just plant one on his chin, and he's not going to know about it. And that's the only way I think you're going to beat Taylor. Or two men in there at once.
Or having
he's that tough.
We mentioned the Prograis fight, the first one. That was a really close fight. It was close. And for me, what do you reckon, guys? Do you think he was more competitive than Ramirez, like Prograis, against Taylor?
He had more power.
It's two different, very different fights. Very different fights, in my opinion. I think I think Ramirez earned his respect early on. Like I think Ramirez, so I think Ramirez was that come forward, where it was like Prograis and Taylor were like two extremely skillful boxers, but loved to fight. So it was like coming in and out, just meeting in the middle. But then when we see this fight tonight, another absolutely fantastic fight, power was a lot more prominent. And we see that because we had two knockdowns in that fight compared to there weren't no knockdowns in the fight with Prograis, and there weren't no major cuts or swelling that played a major part, because that would have been a really interesting finish to the fight if it had been the same as the Prograis fight, in the way that Josh Taylor had really bad vision in one eye for the last 2 rounds. So, like, against Ramirez with that power and ferocity, like, then it may have gone very, very different.
You just give me an idea to contact Prograis. Let me do that now.
Get him on. Yeah, that'd be a banging interview tomorrow or the next couple of days. That's a good shout. That is Beez. I think that's a good shout. But I think with Prograis, styles make fights. That's why I would never judge a fighter on a previous fight to the extent of where I'll dismiss him, because each style clashes. And I think Taylor Prograis, it's like fire on fire, and you're going to get a bigger fire, and that's what you got there. Tonight, it was a bit different. Ramirez's style was more come at you, accumulate of punches more than the power and the skill. And against any other fighter than Taylor, I think Ramirez obviously would have won, as he's proved so far in his career. But Taylor's got a good engine. He's tough. And if you've got a good engine and tough against a come-forward fighter, then it's hard to beat him. And he had the shot selection, that uppercut, which I called early on, for a come-forward fight, always plant that uppercut on them, because they're always going to have their head forward. And the body shots, I thought Taylor hit some good body shots in there as well. So, yeah, I think I'd love to see Prograis versus Ramirez. I think that's a great shoot 'em, great pick and fight. Yeah. I think I'll probably edge towards Prograis just right now. If I'm going to edge my bets, not really doing much, obviously research on the fighters thoroughly, I'd say Prograis. In his last fight, he looked good. I know it was on Triller, a bit of a debate on that show, but I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good in the Taylor fight, and before that in his career, he looked good. So, but that would be a great fight, Ramirez Prograis, and I think that's definitely #1 contender.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, if Taylor moves up, then the belts will all
fragment.
be fragment. They'll all be vacant again. So there's definitely room for Ramirez and Prograis to pick some up. And I just see this NAC comment. I was just about to say this. How about Taylor versus Mikey Garcia at 147? As a first fight at 147, Mikey Garcia is looking for a big fight at 147. Is that a fight that'd entertain you, Pro?
Mikey Garcia is still a big name. Obviously, he's achieved a lot in the sport, but I don't know if it's controversial. But at 147, I don't really think that's Mikey Garcia's proper weight. I'm going to be honest. The big fights are there. That's where that's the money division. It has been for years, but I prefer him lower down than 147. Yeah. And it's too big. How he gets down to 140 is amazing. And that's why he's so good at the weight, because he's so physically strong at the weight, along with the technical ability. That's why he's undisputed at that weight. I think the tougher times and fights are going to come when he moves up to 147. Then all those attributes won't be so standout, because he's going to be fighting guys who are equally as big. Think of a Keith Thurman against Taylor.
Yeah.
You see that? You see what I mean? It's already level. You see what I'm saying? So Errol Spence, again, he's big at 147. He just brings it. Well, he's big when he's not fighting at 147, and he's a strong fighter at 147. Sean Porter, the list goes on.
Certainly. And what about if you're saying as a fight before the likes of Crawford at 147? How about we see him earlier on this year in the UK, David Avanesian, hard, solid, 147 pounder.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. It'd be a hard fight. They wouldn't do that. Yeah. I think we know boxing by now.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
And like you say, Jack Cotterell's got he's got a number one contender shot. He stepped aside for this fight, didn't he? So whatever happens, he's going to be in for a world title fight. So it's another UK fighter fighting for a world title. Personally, you said Taylor agreed that he'd give it to him. I wouldn't be shocked to see Taylor fight him. I think it'd be a good fight at UK soil to ease Taylor in before another big fight. Maybe fight him and then fight Lopez after, because Lopez has got another outing. I can see that happening. Depends where Taylor wants to go now. Like I said, I think he's already created his legacy as an undisputed champion. It's what he wants to do now. Does he want to become a 2-weight world champion, 3-weight world champion, and the likes of follow Ricky Burns and just go from there? So it's exciting times ahead, and I'm really impressed. I'm glad that he got the victory tonight. I think it was the right result. I think, like Pro B said earlier, if you knock the guy down twice and the other guy doesn't knock you down, you should really edge it, unless obviously you're losing 10-8 rounds without a knockdown. I thought it was the correct result tonight. I'm excited. I'm buzzing, really. I'm buzzing, especially for the big fights ahead for him. And we've had some shocks, haven't we, with the Mexicans, as we said earlier, with Josh Warrington and obviously James Tennyson, and then we went further back to when Andy Ruiz beat AJ. The Mexican descent, shall we say, and the Mexicans themselves, they're on a massive high at the moment in boxing. So it was good for Taylor to get the UK back on track. If we're going for that Mexican versus UK little war we got going on in the boxing world at the moment. So I'm happy we've managed to get the Nick one back, but we've got a few to go. I think Warrington's going to fight Lara again, so hopefully he can pick that one back. And let's keep pushing to the future. Boxing's looking good. Got some good fights announced. Obviously, the Wilder 3 fight's been announced as another good fight to look forward to. So there's some good fights to look forward to in the summer.
We got to touch on that before we go. The Wilder fight, obviously, Fury said he signed a contract. It's likely to be publicly announced tomorrow, properly, I think.
Tomorrow or Monday,
Yeah. Look, okay. Some people there's different ways of looking at this, right? The first way of looking at it is okay, well, do we really need a third fight? And some people might have no interest whatsoever. I'm just being 100% on that. Being 100. But then with all the stuff that Wilder said, the accusations and stuff, and it's been a long storyline of events between these two. And some people might say, okay, well, this third fight will put everything to bed. You know, all the animosity, the allegations, the bad blood, it puts it all to bed. Also, as well, Deontay Wilder's only lost one fight. He's got Malik Scott as his new trainer, or on his training team as well. What adjustments will he make against Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury's been inactive for a while now, almost a year and a half. There's so many questions, and I'm going to be honest with you, right? As much as I wanted Joshua versus Fury, I wanted that fight so much, right?
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed. I won't lie to you. I think obviously I'm going to watch Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3. I'm going to watch. I won't lie to you and say, okay, I'm not going to watch. I'm going to be watching it because there's a lot of questions, and you know, Fury knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to sell a fight. It's going to be
especially this one. He's going to be right on Deontay Wilder, saying he took his soul. You've been hiding through with all the excuses. Tyson's going to be all over him, and the frustration of the AJ fight. I can see Tyson ripping him a new one when it comes to the build-up and that. He's going to be calling him a dosser here, there, everywhere. It's going to be an absolute carnage. I want to see it on the fact of, I don't think it might not be the end, because if Wilder wins, they're 1-1, and you can see Fury and Wilder, they're going to go for a 4 fight. They're not going to leave it at 1-1. They're not. They want to want a winner. So, I've personally accepted. I don't think AJ will ever fight Tyson Fury. I've accepted it. I thought when Tyson Fury went into retirement, I thought that was it done, because I wanted it then. I wanted it, and then I thought, here we go, we got it, and we were literally, we had Tyson Fury announcing it, NTK announcing it, we had it there. And I think
we were 24 hours away from it.
It's been ripped away, and you can see what's going to happen. This is what happens in boxing. You can see it. Either Deontay Wilder's going to win against Tyson Fury, or Usyk will beat Anthony Joshua, and then one of them two guys ain't going to win. And that, for some reason, as much as I want both guys to win, in my heart, I've got a feeling that one of them's going to slip up, and it's going to put this fight even further behind, because there's going to be another rematch. Usyk wins, AJ's going to rematch Usyk at the end of the year. That's going to happen. If Fury loses, I can see him fighting Wilder again. Obviously, the best solution is that both guys win. But for some reason, in this crazy world of boxing, it seems a lifetime away that you're going to see that. Because like we saw with Andy Ruiz, anything can happen. I'd say Usyk's a better boxer than Ruiz. Ruiz is probably quicker with the combinations, but boxing skill, Usyk's bigger. He's been growing. He's not fought for a while. He keeps his nose down. He's a great fighter. So you can't say that AJ's definitely going to beat Usyk. As much as I want AJ to win, heavyweight boxing is heavyweight boxing, and AJ's not going to take him. And then we've got Wilder. He's got that. He's got the right hand, and that's all that matters in heavyweight boxing. That one right hand. He's put Tyson down twice before, so he's going to think I can do him. Malik Scott's got him in the corner. I'm not too sure how he's going to be progressing, because everything I'm seeing, he's like on the front foot. I want to see him on the back foot. I see Malik Scott trying to imitate Tyson Fury, doing all this crazy imitation and that. He can do that as much as he wants. That ain't going to do nothing. But until you got Tyson Fury on top of you on the back foot, sparring, you can't replicate the real fights. That's why. So it's intriguing. It's very intriguing, because you know that if he hits that right hand, Deontay Wilder, it's taking anyone out. Anyone. And if he hits it on Tyson Fury, he's done it before. But going on the last fight, you would say Tyson Fury was dominant. But look, this time Tyson's not going to have weights in his gloves. He's not going to be able to spike Deontay's water. He can't fix the costume. So is it all going in Deontay's favour this time?
Do you know what? In some ways, right? Do you know what? In some ways, like, boys, I think the promoters really should have somehow come together or put together a package for Deontay Wilder to fight the winner of the undisputed fight, right? And say, look, it's a winner takes all fight. Fury versus Joshua. You will get some step aside money, but you will also get the winner, guaranteed, inked in contract, right? Then
the winner of the first fight, so they wouldn't have two fights.
No, it's just winner takes all. Yeah, you see what I mean? Because like Wilder ain't gonna. He's 35. He ain't gonna wait for two fights. Potentially that could be 1-1, right? And then the third fight, he's like, no, I want it right now. I want the money right now. Because that didn't happen, this is what's gonna, put the undisputed fight in a big cloud. I don't know whether we'll see it. Like Jay
I
was
just
saying.
hope we do. Really hope we do.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was the moment. That was the moment. Just
that
like,
was it. That was the time. That was the time because
it was within touching distance from it and just gutted.
this is why I want to do that debate show with you, Joe, about politics in boxing and the difference between that and UFC. Because I'm not being funny. Bob Arum here has absolutely screwed all the fans. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not holding back right now. I don't blame Frank Warren and I don't blame Eddie Hearn. I actually feel sorry for Eddie Hearn. The guy's worked his nuts off. And if anything, Eddie Hearn's come out with a lot of credit here because I think Tyson Fury will probably give him a bit more credit and even Frank for how hard he's worked. But Bob Arum, being a lawyer, being in the game this long, he knew what was going on and he was the one that was telling everyone, even Frank Warren, nah, this is fine. It's expired. There's no loopholes in this. There's no... Bob Arum, in his 80s, bless him, this was his chance. He wanted to make this one big mega fight before he rolled out, I think. Because if you look at his attitude since, he's like, we'll just fight Wilder. Like, if you wanted this fight as bad and you knew there weren't any issues in the way, you would be going, nah, there ain't an issue. And he just goes, well, the judge makes his decision. I just think it's wrong. Come on, man. Like, the fans want to hear more passion than that. It was like you chanced it. You played your cards. It didn't work. And you're just like, well, I'll fight Wilder. But you got Fury's career there. You got AJ's career. And that's what I mean. Fury will get the stick now from AJ and that going, you use me as clout in that. But if your promoter's telling you everything's fine, then you're going to go with what your promoter says. Frank thought it was fine and Eddie thought it was fine. I know everyone's going, oh, well, you should have known. But if one of the leading promoters is telling you it's expired, all this and all that and whatever, Bob's really done a number on the UK fans here and Tyson Fury and AJ, I feel like it was messy anyway with three promoters. I don't think Frank was really involved. I think Frank was literally the UK broadcaster. It was going between Bob and Eddie, and Frank really was going to be the one that just said, yeah, I'm okay with it kind of thing. Like, obviously, whatever, we'll have it on BT. But I really feel sorry for him because I feel like they've really been played down the garden path here because it was obvious. If you hear it now, it's obvious that Wilder was entitled to a third fight. There was no really clause in it. And if anything, Bob Arum should have been quicker and maybe they should have helped Eddie a bit quicker and got this fight done in March or April after AJ beat Pulev, got it done, and then you wouldn't have had this wait around for Wilder. It was just... And also what winds me up is the Wilder Fury fights get made in 2 minutes, but any other fight seems to take months and months to make. Do you know what I mean? I knew they had the purse bids or whatever, but come on, like literally negotiations are done like that. Like no arguments, no nothing. They're just done. Yeah, and it's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes
I just think.
Go on, Joe.
No, sorry. I just think, within regards just to the the Fury Wilder fight, if they fought 100 times, I'd still watch it. I've got to say, because every time Fury would step into the ring with Wilder, there's still that doubt because you know the equaliser that what Wilder's got. That right hand could finish it at any time. So that's I haven't got a problem with that fight, nor has I've got a problem with AJ Usyk. In fact, I think that's a fantastic fight. I love that fight. The only problem I've got is just all parties just jumping on the hype train for AJ Fury when like whoever's to blame. I'm not pointing it. I don't want to point any fingers, because but whoever has done it, then we've been sold. It's like we've kind of been sold the dream with AJ Fury, and it just hasn't materialised, and we were so close to it, and that's why I think a lot of people were so gutted, including me.
You know what, Joe? Okay. So to kind of conclude, right, you just kind of segued into the next fans live debate. Who is to blame for the undisputed heavyweight fight not happening? How about that?
Monday?
Monday? Or when the Wilder and Fury fight gets announced, right? Who is to blame?
Who's to blame,
It's the end of the film.
We're going to like the politics and everything like that, and where it's going wrong in boxing at the moment, and yeah, it's crazy. Pro Beez, that's a good thing there. That's good. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Definitely. We've got I think next weekend we've got Linares versus Haney.
Yes.
Yeah, good fight.
Looking forward to that fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that, smash into that this week. It was this week about the politics, about who is to blame. And yeah, definitely, we've got the football season over tomorrow. So we'll enjoy the wrap up of that. Then from Monday, it's ready for the lives, all day, every day, as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
And we might have some new. We have some more news probably about Usyk and Joshua. Obviously, that's been called today.
Yeah. Probably by Monday, isn't it? Probably by Monday. Hearn will be doing his press for Devin Haney versus Ramirez. He'll be doing his press, Eddie Hearn. So yeah. Monday, Tuesday.
So a big week next week.
We've got to finish on Josh Taylor though tonight. Magnificent. Britain's first undisputed world champion of 4-belt era. Performance, hell of a performance. Knocked down Ramirez twice in the fight to get a points decision, a unanimous points decision at that, which is a decision that we were nervous for. But I've enjoyed this tonight, and I just hope you have too, and the viewers and Pro Beez. Jay, what a great night to finish up.
Yeah, great night. I enjoyed doing the scoring for the first time, properly doing the scoring. My scoring was pretty similar to what the judges had it. I think they had Taylor by 1 or 2 rounds, a couple of them. So, yeah, I was happy. I enjoyed that. I thought Taylor put himself in the UK history books tonight. He's up there as my second favourite Scottish fighter of all time behind Jim Watt. So, he's pushing up there. He could maybe nick it if he goes up a weight. Yeah, I think Taylor's proved himself tonight again. He's got a chin like Iron Man. He's got balls like King Kong. He's got skills that can pay the bills. He's an all-round good fighter, and I think he brings the entertainment. He's like a Jekyll and Hyde. Like, he's there 1 minute with the skills on the outside. 30 seconds later, he's in a phone box. You're like, how the hell did he get in there? So that's what's so good about Taylor. He's very vulnerable in certain situations in a fight, but very interesting and very exciting. So for the public, it's fantastic. Let's not take any credit away from Ramirez. Got up twice off the floor, 2 heavy knockdowns, proved that Mexican heart that he's got. And I'm a fan of Ramirez. So, look, if a fighter loses and you become a fan of him still, then it's great. It's great work for the fighter as well, because at the end of the day, you got to appreciate what a fighter goes through. He's a great gentleman. He's great for the boxing. And look, like we say, there's big fights ahead of him, and we'd all like to see the Prograis fight in the future, maybe with Ramirez. And I'd like to say thank you to him. Thank you to Pro Beez for having me on tonight. Thank you, Joe, for having me on. It's been a pleasure as always, and excited for Monday's debate now.
Yeah, definitely cannot wait for that. Pro, last words?
Last words. I've got to thank you two guys. You guys saying, look, we really need to cover this fight. It's an undisputed fight. What we do have here is we've got 2 amazing fighters at the top of their game fighting for supremacy, you know, at 140. And what we saw is a great fight. We saw the styles gel tonight. And for me, I knew Josh Taylor was always a talented fighter, but I think there's more gears, there's more levels. I think he can become even bigger, right?
Yeah.
And we got to take our hats off to him. Major congratulations to Josh Taylor. And guys, get excited when the fans come back in the UK for some of the big fights. Get really excited, mate. Because
definitely.
I'll tell you, Josh Taylor's a hell of a fighter. You know, the guy can do both inside work, outside work, and he's flashy with it as well. So, you know what I mean? On that note, congratulations, Josh Taylor. Commiserations to Jose Ramirez. He'll come again.
Definitely.
Pep Talk UK, smash the like button. Monday, it is.
Yeah, let's get to 20K. Let's get to that 20K. Let's get them subscribes getting in there.
20K up. Definitely. What a great night. Thank you, Pro Beez. Thank you, Jay. And looks like we'll see you Monday for one hell of a debate. See you soon.
See you soon.
And it's getting light behind you, Joe. It looks like the morning's here.
I know. Still got time for a couple of hours, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.